Hello and welcome to the Super Basement Bros Show. I'm Connor and I'm joined by my co-hosts Tanner and Hasten.
Hello.
Or my ho-host, as I said, I think last week.
Your ho-host. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
That's funny.
Yep. Anyway, we're the Super Basement Bros. If you didn't know, we're basically a podcast dedicated to the world of entertainment. We love movies, video games, pop culture, theme parks, anything like that, you name it. We're all fans of it and we love to discuss it and talk about it. That's kind of what you're going to get here. This episode is our topic for this episode is actually free-to-play games. It's kind of a newish model that's been around, I guess, for the last few years. It's been popularized, I guess. We've seen it with stuff like Fortnite.
I think it really started with probably really started with Warframe.
Yeah.
And then Fortnite really took it over the Battle Royale scene.
I think Warframe started it, but I think what popularized it was Fortnite.
I don't know. There's also
actually, World of Warcraft's free, isn't it?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to buy.
Or is it League of Legends? I think
League of Legends is free.
The thing is, though, there's also mobile free to play, which is one thing that I think mobile actually started free to play technically, but a lot of people don't consider mobile games real games.
I'm thinking more like AAA though, because as far as AAA, I think Fortnite was the one that popularized free to play. Because something like Warframe, even League of Legends at the time it came out, they weren't AAA titles. They were just the online kind of, oh yeah, you can go play them. They're free,
The first free-to-play game I really remember was Plants vs. Zombies 2, the mobile game, because I remember it was a big deal when it came out because everyone was like, what the heck, it's free, but literally more than half the game you can't do unless you pay eventually. And people were complaining, they're like, I'd rather just pay $10 up front and own the entire game than have to do this free-to-play model. And so I remember when free-to-play first started, it was this really big controversial thing. And I almost feel like now...
It still is,
totally. But I feel like now a lot of people have become okay with it.
Well, it depends on what you call free-to-play. Because what I consider free-to-play is when the entire game is free and it's just cosmetics that cost money. Because free-to-play, I wouldn't consider you get to play this mission, but the rest costs money. That's not free-to-play. That's, you get a trial. That's a demo. It's not really a free-to-play game. Because, I feel like we talked about this years ago when Rocket League and Fortnite, I think it was right when Fortnite started, we were like, Rocket League and Fortnite...
Rocket League, though, isn't free-to-play.
Yeah, it's not. But it was just boiling down to the way they work with their microtransactions and everything, which is another topic, but... They do them right because since Fortnite is
that's going to have to be boiled into this. So we can
it is all related.
Because free to play, that's how they make their
money.
Exactly.
That's why something like Fortnite, where it comes out, it's a great game, but you don't have to spend any money to enjoy the game any more than somebody who did. Yeah. If somebody who spends money, all they get is to look a little cooler. And you can still
really cool.
but what's funny is you can still even earn skins, backpacks, pickaxes for free from events. The battle pass rewards, plus you earn V-Bucks. You can eventually buy skins with free V-Bucks you earn. Sure, it takes a lot longer.
Fortnite's cosmetics are the coolest cosmetics in any game I've seen.
And they bust them out every day. Oh my gosh.
Well, one thing I want to talk about when we get to our topics, we're already getting started on it, is I want to also talk about the... what we consider gambling and stuff like that, because I know that's a big thing that's come up with loot boxes and whatnot, and it's all connected. So we'll talk about that, and then also I want to read the definition of free to play and what the Wikipedia / whatever definition is of it, just so we can get an idea of what they're saying it is. But real fast before we get into our topic, I wanted to pimp out our social media, right? Because we've been pretty bad at that. I want to throw it out there.
Well, and just so to start, we have a Twitter, of course, at Super Bros Videos. You can just go check it out.
Super Bros Videos.
At Super Bros Videos, we tweet sometimes. We also will tweet about when we're streaming. Hason's got a stream coming up where he's going to be playing banjo.
As the time this goes up, it's already happened because I'm going to do it tomorrow. Right now,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
it'll be up on your channel.
It'll be up on the Twitch archive too, and if
Mixer,
Twitch or Mixer.
Yeah. It'll be probably on Mixer.
Either way, you can go watch it. It'll be hilarious. He's gonna play banjo.
Yep. So Hasten lost a bet a couple weeks ago. If you want to catch up on our previous episodes, we did a game called Guess That, which they faced off in Tanner and Hasten. Tanner ended up winning, so he got to choose a game that Hasten had to play for around 3 hours, is what we said. So Hasten gets to play it, or has to play it for 3 hours. And suffer through it because Hasten is not a fan of I guess that type of game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Tanner loves Banjo-Kazooie, but
Who knows? Maybe I'll jump in it and be like, "Oh, this is my new game. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play Banjo-Tooie forever."
all the time.
Never know.
And
And then, of course, we got Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram as well.
Super Basement Bros. We post pretty regularly, so about weekly, just to pimp out our new videos and stuff.
And real fast, this is episode 10 of the Super Basement Bros show.
Yep.
I've also been wanting to say the episode number more often. So we're at 10 episodes, guys. Isn't that awesome?
We made it.
We've hit the big
10
10.
2-hour episodes.
90
Now
more to get to
in,
100.
double digits. We're officially in double digits.
We have probably now like 30 hours of content,
Yeah, really.
counting the Smashcast. and
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah,
at
kinda.
least.
That's another thing is you can check out. We do a limited run Super Smash Bros. Dedicated podcast called the Super Smash Cast. There's about 6 episodes or
think it's 5.
5 episodes out right now.
Maybe planning on 6.
Yeah, what our plan is every time a DLC character is announced or comes out, we'll try to do an episode or so. Piranha Plant actually just came out recently, so you can probably expect an episode within the next couple weeks or something where we kind of discuss all the new updates to the game. And also, by that point, they might have the next DLC fighter revealed after Joker. So look forward to the Super Smash Cast every once in a while. It's probably... I'd imagine we have about 4 or 5 more episodes of that show over the course of this coming year as DLC is announced and whatnot. But also, so our social media, and then there was one other thing we needed to pimp out. I can't remember what it was. Oh, no, it was just, if you guys please comment, like, subscribe, and we really want your guys' feedback. That's something we really want to bring into the show. So don't be afraid to comment. Let us give us some topic ideas, and we'd love to discuss them. Like, if you guys give us a topic idea, we will gladly discuss it on our show.
And not even to like step on the point, but like even if you guys don't subscribe, like whatever, we would appreciate it. But even if you just tell us your feedback, what you like, what you don't like, what you want us to talk about, anything, we can bring it up. Like if you want to see our opinions on something, let us know. We'll definitely talk about it. And even like a shout out. Like,
It always doesn't have to be entertainment either. You
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
political. No, I'm just kidding.
we could honestly talk. I mean, we're not strictly video games, and so it's just.
We're
What do you guys think about abortion?
That one's
Entertainment, right? I mean, I guess to some people, politics is entertainment, but
I guess so.
and nowadays it's especially entertainment in a way.
Well, yeah, it's great.
Today we're gonna
It's the best.
we're gonna talk about drama today.
Anyway, our topic for today is free to play, which is a gaming centric kind of thing. You can kind of expect that throughout the episode. Traditionally, we have the news and releases for the week in our show, but for the last couple of weeks, we haven't been doing that because we've realized with certain topics, we tend to talk so much about that topic that we literally go for about 2 hours just on that.
And not only that, but
And
news usually becomes outdated because we usually film
on
about a week.
real fast. We're on a bi-weekly-ish schedule, sometimes a weekly schedule. Right now, we're kind of on a weekly schedule every Sunday.
We have it ahead, right? We're ahead with episodes right now. So.
Yeah, so you can expect an episode basically every Sunday to every other Sunday. And the problem sometimes is we have to film a week in advance to where some of the news is a little bit outdated by the time it comes out. So we're trying to, with the latest episode, if we know the episode's not going to go up for about a week, we try to stay away from the news a bit. And then if we're on time with the episode, like if we know the episode's going to be up in just a couple days, we'll gladly talk about more recent stuff. But this episode, you can expect our topic, which is free to play, and then we're going to go into our deathmatch segment, which you guys got a taste of last week, where we did it with a bunch of different things. Rapid fire. This week, however, we're going to go over 2 main things. We're going to do a discussion about Disney versus Nintendo. And basically...
we have these arguments all the time.
Yeah. And that's
It's something we
fun.
do, and it's something our family even, like, we'll have it in front of our family, and they're like, stop fighting. And it's like, we get a little
argument.
heated
It's just
when we
discussions.
argue.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's really, like, we're really not angry at each other.
And it's
we just
genuine,
disagree, and
yeah.
it's the way we disagree.
And it's usually
Comes out
genuine
weird
facts,
sometimes.
and it's just difference of opinion. It's usually not.
Well, I would
somebody
actually
being
say
biased.
it's not genuine facts. I feel like a lot of it's just opinion, like our personal opinion.
But I do think we do spit out a lot of facts. A lot of it's just opinion, whether or not we like a certain thing more than the other.
Well, and the thing is, though, is I want to be clear with these deathmatch segments. I look at them as just fun.
Yeah.
Like Disney versus Nintendo. They're literally probably my 2 favorite brands of all time.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to take that into account when I debate this. It's like they're
I'm
both
not
my
saying
children.
one's-
I
yeah.
love both.
I'm
It's
not
like,
saying
I'm
one's
not
better
saying
than
I
the
love one more than the other. It's the question
You're
is
just
with
debating.
the deathmatch segment. The idea is which one would you erase from history if you had to? If you could only keep one, which one would you erase from the history books? Period. And
it's hard.
So you have to take into account personal preference, but also historical account, like what would have the greater effect, losing Nintendo or Disney? It's like, if you're thinking it from that way, probably losing Disney would be a bigger, significant. But if you're talking personal thing, it might be different. Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
There's no more Disneyland.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
a big
Anyway,
deal.
we'll go back.
We'll get to that. We'll
yeah.
get to so Disney versus Nintendo is this week. You can expect some other fun ones in the future, like PC versus or Microsoft versus Apple, or something like that.
Microsoft versus PlayStation.
Yeah,
so
Xbox
versus
PlayStation.
Xbox versus PlayStation.
Stuff like that, and you can.
That one's gonna be horrible.
There's gonna be a lot of.
But I think we'll all lead. More
They're also
towards
the thing
Xbox.
is those are also will be goofy ones though, like
last week
versus Apple.
Go watch our last week episode. We do a lot of
Give us some
Spitfire
deathmatch
ones.
ideas too. The thing is we love just debating dumb things. Like last week was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
I
with
did
that
too. I
segment.
wish we
Logan
could've
Paul or
kept going.
KSI.
Yeah.
But we were at like 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah,
So we had to
long
cut it a little
episode.
short.
Longest we probably had. Yeah.
And they're fun because I think the very first one we did was cookies versus cake, and right away
It was like, no.
Me and Tanner were cookies, Haston was cake, but then
I switched to
Tanner
cake.
switched to cake because of the arguments.
Yeah.
It swayed him. So it's
many
kind of
different
fun.
Cakes.
Yeah, and it's fun just to argue
Buttercream
the
cake. There's
those dumb
chocolate
things.
cake. There's cookie
Did you say
cake.
barbecue?
Chocolate cake.
Sure. Why not?
It's disgusting.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
All right.
Oh, Bill.
Well, let's go ahead and get into our topic for today, free to play. I'm going to go ahead and start out by reading the Wikipedia opening paragraph or two to describe what free to play is from their perspective, I guess. Because Wikipedia, I guess anyone can technically edit it, but it's...
Did you know there's some dude who he has 1/3
He's
of
edited
all of Wikipedia.
Yep.
like
he's
edited
edited
it?
one-
He's
third
the
of all
reason that half the stuff's on there.
For real?
It's crazy. It's one dude, and he
That's-
just sits in his basement and does it.
He does look like the guy. But
That, dude, that'd be awful.
He is the Wikipedia man. if you
Yeah.
were to
He is
imagine
Mr.
that.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Just imagine a guy who would edit that much.
Okay, first I'm going to read the...
That's how he looks.
So if you Google free-to-play definition, I'm going to first read just the Google Dictionary definition, and then I'll go into Wikipedia. So what the Google Dictionary definition says is relating to or denoting an arrangement in which basic access to a game is granted without charge, while more advanced features must be paid for. I think that's a pretty good description, actually.
Yeah, more advanced features meaning
Other things.
microtransactions.
Microtransactions.
Yeah.
And then the Wikipedia one is free-to-play video games, also known as free-to-start, are games that give players access to a significant portion of their content without paying. Free-to-play can be contrasted with pay-to-play, in which payment is required before using a service for the first time. There are several kinds of free-to-play business models. The most common is the freemium software model. Thus, free-to-play games are oftentimes not entirely free. For freemium games, users are granted access to the fully functional game, but must pay for microtransactions to access additional content. Another method of generating revenue is to integrate advertisements into the game, which I think is more of a mobile thing.
That's more mobile, yeah.
We don't see that too much with
Granted,
consoles.
though, something like Fortnite, you see NFL.
Well, and I guess you
Avengers.
could consider maybe even Marshmallow an advertisement.
Well,
for
yeah.
Marshmallow, right?
I mean, they probably paid him to be in the game. I doubt that he's like,
I
oh,
don't
let me
think-
pay you money to put
I
me in
don't
the game.
think he
No.
paid them. So I
Even
think
Thanos
You
and-
technically, yeah, exactly. Thanos and Marshall. I say you could consider those
NFL
advertisements.
skins. I'm sure that
totally.
the NFL wouldn't like, oh, put our skins in your game,
Yeah.
Fortnite. Like, no.
Talk about a win-win though.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Think about
we
the
don't
things
know.
they
It's
put in,
possible.
yeah.
That is actually possible. That
Yeah,
the NFL came to
potentially.
them because if you think about how big Fortnite is, and also there's a lot of NFL players who are obsessed with Fortnite. I know
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
a
like
big
there's
thing.
Juju Smith-Schuster. He's
Oh,
huge
yeah.
into it.
And a lot of NFL players do Fortnite dances and stuff like that too. I mean,
After, yeah.
Fortnite. I know they're not originating from Fortnite necessarily,
Yeah.
but they're popularized by Fortnite.
Yeah.
Also, the model was first popularly used in early massive multiplayer online games, so MMOs. Targeted towards casual gamers before finding wider adoption among games released by major video game publishers to combat video game piracy and high system requirements. I also was trying to find the first known free-to-play game, and it's kind of hard to find. I couldn't find
You're like Pong.
something.
He was free to play.
Pong was free to play.
Well, like,
There's all the game. There's no.
like, let's
A
look
lot
back.
of people brought up League of Legends and Team Fortress,
And that's
too.
not even that long ago. That's what I was gonna say. Is like looking back, right? I remember when I was like probably 12. even like getting on a laptop. And I remember I was like, oh, like Steam, let's find free to play games. There wasn't a lot. Like even League of Legends wasn't around at the time. It was just Team Fortress, and then Left 4 Dead had randomly been discounted or something. And so for me, it was like there was nothing of value. There wasn't like a fun AAA game that I could be like, oh yeah, you know, like there wasn't a lot of that. And I feel like that's so different now, because now you can jump in and be like, you've got Warframe, you got Fortnite, you got Apex Legends, you got all these crazy AAA made by AAA,
like Respawn,
yeah,
Epic.
like Respawn, Epic, you know, all these big time companies making these free to play games. It's such a turn of events, I think. Like it's, and I've noticed it started when the whole controversy with loot boxes happened. Once that happened and everyone was pissed, like companies are going for money, so many people took that opportunity to be like, well, my game's free. Boom, here's a free game. Here's a free game. You know, I noticed that. Like it's completely shifted.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna have microtransactions in your game, it almost makes it okay if you're a free to play game.
Yeah,
Even free to play or discount.
It's hard to get away with having microtransactions in your game if your game costs $60 up front. Like I noticed that with Battlefront 2 was the big one.
Oh, yeah.
That was a huge deal.
And here's the thing,
And
though,
then
is,
also even
Battlefront too.
yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
well, and that's what I wanted to talk about with Battlefront is perfect example. I don't even if it came out as free to play, right? The next one. And they did the same system where you have to unlock the Jedi, I still wouldn't consider that free to play. Because you're having to pay to unlock other things.
But the weird thing is with that, you can
Yeah.
just play.
But then again, it
takes so long.
It's
though,
like
if you're
Destiny
just
coming
paying
out.
$5.
It's like Destiny coming out and they're being like, oh, to play Mission 2, you have to play 900 hours. Or you can just buy it for $5 right now. It's like, that's not really a free-to-play game. You're getting a demo. You're getting a trial, a taste of it. You're not really getting the game. Something like Fortnite, you get the entire game for free. The game is free. You can pay...
Fortnite Battle Royale is free.
Battle Royale, right. Save the World's a completely different thing, which it is going to be free in the near future, which they've said. But anyway, I think there's a difference also between free-to-play and early access. Because early access isn't always necessarily free-to-play. Because there's games that come out as early access and then they cost money. You know what I mean? So we have to differentiate which games are early access and which are not.
But I honestly hate the early access thing because nowadays it's like Fortnite. I don't care what you say. Fortnite.
Oh, it's
is a
out.
complete
It's a
game.
complete game.
Like I know it's early access technically. Like it's not officially a finished game, but it's like
Well, it is.
does that
It
even
is.
mean now?
Well, the reason they do it is because they get easier access to updates. It's because real companies who have already gone through the entire trial and have become a 1.0 game, then they have to go through a much more tedious process of updating their game.
I don't even know if that's the full
Yeah, because
reason. I think it's
Blackout's
just
throwing
like
stuff out really quick.
But not
Yeah.
as quick as Fortnite.
I don't know.
They're
about
able
They're
to
updating every day.
Because when I looked into it, because I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, why did it take so long for PUBG, Fortnite? Why are these games not coming out?
I think it's because at first they're smaller studios. Like PUBG is a tiny team.
Well, and it's because like let's say they come out with an update, it breaks the game. They're like, too bad, it's early access. That's what you get. That's what we told you in the
I don't
disclaimer.
think so. I think honestly,
If it's
the
a full
appeal-
game, people are gonna refund.
I think it's
You
more
can't
of
do
just like,
anything.
what's the point? What does Fortnite have to gain by having the game go 1.0?
Because if they mess something up, then they can get away with it. They have a mess up. They have a game-breaking glitch.
I don't know. Apex Legends, though, as an example, they released an update like 2 days ago.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
And
let's
the
say
game launched. Like
so
a
is
day
it
ago.
is it a launched game or is it your early access?
Oh, it's launched. It's
So
full.
that's the thing is if they come out with an update, right, that corrupts everyone's data, all their data's gone, people are going to be pissed. But they can't use the excuse like, oh, the game's early access. That's what you're getting into. That's what Fortnite
I don't
can
think
still
Fortnite
do.
really is. Either.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry because like if
people
Fortnite,
would still be
if
mad.
Fortnite had something like that happen,
Yeah.
people would be pissed.
Oh yeah, they'd be pissed, but they could still use that as an excuse.
But
They
everyone
could
would
still be like,
whatever, screw you.
They
like,
could still be like,
they wouldn't
if
care.
you look at in the terms of service that you accept at the beginning of every time you first play
But
Fortnite.
you even do that on games that aren't early access. I
know
literally 9 out of 10 games I boot up now. First thing you have to do is I accept.
Oh, I
this
understand
bullcrap
that. But
stuff.
but
whatever it
even
is.
in the Fortnite one, it
all
says,
EA games.
every EA
Like,
game,
I'm pretty sure
every
Apex
single one.
Legends I had to too.
Yeah,
you
I
did.
think,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think every EA game does. Speaking of, I actually do want us to talk about Apex Legends. That's something that actually made us want to talk about free to play. Apex Legends
Maybe this is not me stating it. We might have found the Fortnite killer.
Okay.
The Fortnite competitor.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Not
So
so
I
much
think
killer.
so. Apex Legends, if you didn't know, just launched. We're recording this Saturday after it launched, so it came out Monday.
Yeah.
Saturday the 8th.
Yeah. So it has been
Ninth.
like 5-6 days since it launched.
And people are having
Maybe, yeah.
fun.
And we downloaded it right away first night.
Yeah.
Started playing it, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
frankly, right? I mean,
Well,
yeah.
we didn't
Sorry,
win
go
right
ahead.
away.
Well, I just wanted to compare it to a game like something like Blackout. When Blackout came out, I remember the hype was real for 2 days, and then everyone else fall off. Besides the hardcore, Apex has been like that Fortnite.
Speaking of
Where it's
Apex
getting-
real fast, it's developed by Respawn.
Yeah,
who did
Respawn.
Titanfall, which is
Titanfall,
a big
who
deal.
used to make a Call of Duty.
Which
Call of
EA,
Duty, yeah.
EA actually didn't have. They came out and said they're like we had nothing to do with Apex Legends. Respawn did
really?
everything.
Oh wait, is EA just the publisher? Then?
EA is
EA's
a publisher.
publisher.
Well, and that's what I was going to bring up is, EA, as everyone knows, especially lately, has been pretty awful when it comes to the microtransaction scene and whatnot. I think everyone would agree with that for the most part. And so, whether you agree with it or not, I think they've handled it pretty poorly.
Yeah.
And so, with Apex coming out, how do you guys feel about EA? Because also EA, another report we were going to talk about news-wise a couple weeks ago for the Super Basement Bro Show is EA canceled their new RPG-ish Star Wars game. The one developed by the
single player?
Yeah, the single player one. The one who was the one
Isn't
that was supposed to
Respawn
be,
working on one?
They're working on one too, but they had one for years now. They've been working on that's gone through. It was originally supposed to be made by Visceral, the guys who made Dead Space.
Who went out of business.
Who went out of business. EA closed their doors, transferred the assets and stuff to another company. I think EA Vancouver,
And then closed it
Then
again.
they closed their up shop there. I don't know if they closed that studio, but they closed the game. They just said we're canceling the game. Period. Literally, this game's been in development for like 4 years now, and they just canceled it.
What a waste of resources.
I know.
I know.
That's the thing.
And,
so,
like think about that. There's a half completed game out there that's just sitting there.
Mhm.
Like a
probably-
Star Wars game.
I would say it's even more than halfway.
Because it was supposed to come out this year, wasn't it?
I think it was rumored for 2020. But
Still, oh my
still,
gosh.
and
And it
also-
was in deep development.
It was first shown off. I'll look it up, but it was like first shown off like literally 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's nuts. And so EA comes out now with Apex Legends, which is free to play, and it seems like everyone's loving it.
Well, and one thing that I wanted to say about Apex Legends is I love that they come out and the microtransactions aren't even a thing yet. They weren't when the game first came out. And they're not shoving it in your face. They're not like, hey, come check out this cool skin that we got. Hey, you got to pay money to get this cool skin. I will say the only thing that's a little upsetting is that you have to pay money to get the other two heroes.
You don't, though.
But you can earn them. Like you have, and like we eventually will. Like me and Connor at this point are probably about halfway.
I did
anyone.
pay for mine.
Yeah, you did. Which and that's the thing is with free to play games, I have
With a game
no
like
problem.
that, if a free to play game comes out and I enjoy it so much, then I'm gonna throw like $20 at
Exactly.
it. Why
Throw 'em a
not?
bone.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing is that's
Well,
what
they
I was,
deserve
it.
They deserve money.
They-
If you
if you didn't even-
such a good game,
like
I
I was-
enjoyed it. I'm
yeah.
gonna give them some money.
exactly that's what I was just about to say is like you didn't even pay for the game, might as well give them some
Enjoy a little bit.
Yeah.
Plus,
help them out. Like they gave you a free game, you might as well pay.
I
for
feel like they were pretty generous with it too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, every level you get a loot box.
Pretty much every level.
Gambling machine.
Oh yeah.
That pops out and just blows up.
Granted, though, it's very similar to Overwatch, which is really nice, actually, because you're almost guaranteed a rare every time. Instead of getting crap,
You are guaranteed a rare every
yeah.
time.
And
Guaranteed.
and the thing is, the likelihood of a duplicate is very unlikely.
It says no duplicates.
No duplicates?
Can't get a
Okay,
duplicate.
because something like that's different from Overwatch, which is possible. See, that's really nice. Then you could eventually earn everything you want, which is really nice. And the thing is like we were saying, even winning a game, you get so much XP, you're likely to get in a box and get your skins to where you don't really need to pay money on.
One thing I don't understand with free to play games is I don't know why. It's like, why do companies still make the loot box thing look like the loot box thing? Like they have the box or whatever it is, like shake and then explode, and there's 3 things that come out. It's like, whoa, what I get? It's like, why does every game do that? People know all the content. It's satisfying, but these companies, it's not like they're stupid. They know the controversy surrounding loot boxes. Why don't they disguise it better? Why don't they disguise it in a way that's not so obvious?
But how?
That's a good question. That's not my job to
That's
figure
why.
out, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
I think that's why.
you'd think that they would figure out something that would disguise it better, because it's always the same thing. It's like, one thing about Apex Legends is they don't disguise their loot boxes at all.
Oh, no,
They are
no.
clearly loot boxes.
Well, and
it's
there's
like it's in a robot thing. It blows up. Here's 3.
Well, there's a
items.
good way to put it is even something like Fortnite. I guarantee you they would have made loot boxes. You want to know how? Is because in Save the World you can buy loot llamas that explode and they give you random stuff. They would have put that same thing in Battle Royale if not for the controversy. Because when Fortnite first came out is when everything was going crazy. So they were like, we cannot put loot boxes in. They disguised it like the way you're saying. But instead of making a skin cheap, they made it freaking expensive. It's $20 for one skin. One skin, that's $20. That's insane. That can buy you like 10, 20 loot boxes.
Yeah, I don't. So what's the deal with Apex Legends? Like, how much is their microtransactions?
$1 for one loot box.
Is it how much is it for like a skin?
A skin, it's $1,800, so it's like $18.
$18.
$18 for a single skin.
Okay, so how
So like you know that
for
red
100.
one for Pathfinder that's on there right now?
that you got?
That one's $18. I don't have that one.
No, the Pathfinder
I'm
one.
talking-
That's the featured Pathfinder one when you go to store and it's
When you're like, oh, that one's not that
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That one's
It's
$18.
Well, you got that red one for Gibraltar.
but he got it.
I got that out of a loot box.
I know, but was that normally $18 if you wanted to buy it?
No, it's like
no,
12.
you have to get it through the loot box.
You have to get that one through the loot box. Okay.
Or you can craft it.
Or you can
So-
craft it, but you get crafting materials through
From
loot
loot
boxes.
boxes.
One question I have for you guys, because this is one thing I just don't understand because I've never actually bought one of these things or anything, is like, how do companies get away with charging $18 for a skin? Because for me personally,
I think it's optional.
it sounds insane.
It
Like,
is. It is insane.
I would never pay more than $5
Because
if that for a skin in a game.
Bungie actually said it in one of their things. They said it perfectly. Is when the whole Eververse thing happened, they said you can either get the loot box and have a chance to earn what you want plus more, or you can just pay more and get the thing you want.
With the bright engrams, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
because they used to have these engrams that would give you random shiz, and everyone was pissed because they're like, I just want this one thing, and they couldn't earn it. So now they made a system where they're like, oh, now there's a prismatic matrix, and you can buy the one thing you want. Like how Apex Legends and Fortnite does, where they're like, oh, you want that one skin? You can just buy it, but it's gonna cost you. Because normally you could just earn it through loot boxes. Because the thing is you can earn all those skins you want naturally without paying any money.
It's
Leveling
the ones
up,
that are
getting-
at like the store. You know those featured ones?
Yeah.
Those ones are ones that you could only buy. You can't earn those.
You
ones.
can earn them. The legendary ones do drop, but they're really rare. If you look at the description of the loot box, it says a low chance of getting legendaries.
See, I just don't
You
understand.
can get legendaries, but it's kind of like it's not like for I can't say that because
That specific skin, what is the guy, the robot one, was in the loot box. His red one.
You seen it?
Well, yeah, because if you go to his character and you look at his skins, it clicks in it and it says, oh, 12,000 coins or this many
1200 crafting
things.
material.
Yeah, or loot boxes, yeah.
So,
But I imagine that they will do what you're saying, where they'll have ones exclusively to the store that you can't get from loot boxes. I'm sure that'll happen.
so the thing is like I've never in any game bought a loot box. The closest thing I bought a loot box was Rocket League, and it was you buy keys in Rocket League though. It's not even like a loot box. I mean, it is a loot box, but it's different. I literally paid it like $1 for one key to a crate, and then got an item like some special item.
That's a loot box.
It's a loot box, I know, but it was $1. Like I haven't ever spent $20 worth for a skin or anything like that. I just that's one thing I just haven't understood is because I understand that it's like, okay, if you really want to help the developers or like you enjoy the game enough, you pay for it. But like a skin just seems like too much for $20.
Oh, yeah.
You can
It's
buy.
just not. It's not for you.
It's not for me exactly.
But like
That's the point.
like Tanner's bought in Fortnite skins.
Right.
His brother, you guys' brothers bought in Fortnite
Yeah,
skins.
all the time.
I have bought in Fortnite skins.
It's kind of like
I
something...
bought some Apex. It's towards like the multi.
Something
And
you-
that's
and
true.
it's
not
something
like you. Where
that's
you're
the
like,
thing.
I don't care how.
Well, no, and I disagree because it's just something you love. Like with me and like Hasten especially used to, like we loved Fortnite, right? So we bought stuff for Fortnite. Like you said a long time ago, years ago, with Batman Arkham City, you said if anything comes out, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
A skin, a thing.
Sure.
If that's because like for me, I would be like, no, I'm not gonna pay $20 for the Batman Beyond
thing
skin.
though is I would draw the line somewhere. If Rockstar
Yeah.
came out and was like, you can buy the Batman Beyond skin for $20, I'd be like, no, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
See,
the
and
only
that's
reason
just
I
you.
bought the skins for those games is because they're good, they're well priced. I could buy them for
Yeah.
like $4 for like $6.
Yeah.
Or for example, the Spider-Man skins that come out in that game, all
Free.
free, all free updates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess there's the ones that come with the DLC packs, but even then. $25
So you
for
get
all
story
three
content
DLC,
and stuff in
story
that.
content. $25 for all of them.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I guess that's just my cup of tea. And I understand it's different for other people. That's just one thing I've always been bewildered by.
And that's the thing is,
it's
like,
so expensive,
especially with something like Fortnite, with Destiny, with the loot boxes. Since I bought the game, and with a lot of the Destiny stuff, I bought collector's editions. I bought all the
put a lot of money into
yeah.
Destiny.
I didn't really pay a lot of money for the loot boxes because I didn't need to. The thing is, they have a really nice system of a knockout system where whatever you get in the loot box, you can't ever get again. And there's only like 50 items. So you get loot boxes every time you level up, and it's like boom, boom, boom.
I feel
you
like I
stuff
always
done.
get the same stuff in that game.
Yeah, and that's the thing is not count. If you're counting just the game itself, of course there's duplicate items. But as far as the Eververse stuff that you can buy with real money, you can't get duplicates. Or at least I think you can, but after you've earned everything. But like something like that is I already spent so much money on the game itself. I spent probably $300 overall that I didn't really need to buy the loot boxes, because I've already given their money. I've already spent too much. But like Fortnite, free. So I'm like, I'm interested in this game. I want to look like this. I might as well.
Talk about freemium though. Like how much have you spent on Fortnite?
500 plus.
That's freemium right
Easy.
there.
Granted, it's been out for 2 years, but yeah.
Still though, I mean, like, that's more than I've paid for any game ever.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like,
but granted, think about it.
That's more than I paid for a console.
With ongoing games, there's a thing I will defend is like somebody can buy Assassin's Creed every year and for 5 years spend $300, or they can get Fortnite that lasts for 3 years and spend the same amount. Because with ongoing games, is you're only buying the one, or you're not buying it because it's free. You're only getting the one game instead of multiples throughout the year. Throughout the years, you're just getting the one, like Destiny 2, like Overwatch.
You're talking about games.
Yeah, like ongoing games, like Overwatch. There hasn't been Overwatch 2, so you haven't had to pay $60 to get another game.
Yeah.
Instead, you can
it's
just
like
pay
Rocket
$60
League 2.
Yeah.
I bought Rocket League once. I have it now.
Yeah, you never need to buy it again, and it just
They're
keeps
not going to
going.
do a Rocket League 2, it sounds like.
And so if you ever wanted to
not how
buy
it works.
Rocket League 2, instead you could just buy $60 worth of loot
I
boxes.
want to update the rosters and just drop a number 2 in there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, I'm actually surprised, and I understand why they don't, because they make tons of money on the microtransactions and whatnot. But I'm honestly surprised that companies don't release like a 2, like a Fortnite 2. I know that sounds stupid. I know that's not how it works because
not so much though.
Well, no, what I mean is, like, I understand that they make plenty of money. There's no reason real to. And what would it be? What would a Fortnite 2 be? But the thing is, can you imagine if they released a Fortnite 2 and it's not even really a Fortnite 2? It's just they put out a box at a store that says Fortnite 2. Do you know how many grandmas would be at the store for Christmas and being like, where do I get Fortnite 2 for my kid? Like, there would be so many.
Well, like, the thing is they could have. Fortnite kind of screwed themselves because with updates where they were adding
stuff. They haven't even released yet.
Exactly. But imagine if before Tilted Towers and stuff was added, they didn't come out with that. And it was just stayed the same for about a year. Then all of a sudden they're like, Fortnite 2, there's a place called Tilted Towers, Lucky Landing, all these crazy places. People would be like, oh. But instead they just slowly added them in. They pretty much did make Fortnite 2 throughout the year.
Yeah, no, see, I totally understand why there's not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from a business perspective, I wonder if there would be some sort of financial gain from
benefit,
too, which is kind of weird.
That's true. That's a good point.
Because, and I also think
we are talking about free games.
Yeah, I guess they can't go to a store and be like, here, take this case. I mean, they did technically. I can't tell you how many consoles I saw at Black Friday this year that was like the Xbox One
with Fortnite
bundle.
No, it's like
Nintendo Switch.
Bro, it's
Fortnite
free.
Bundle. It's like,
well, it comes with skins.
Free.
It comes with a skin, but it's like a free game.
Yeah.
It's like, would you rather get this Xbox bundle with a free game or this Xbox bundle with Halo? It's like, I'm gonna get the one with Halo because it costs money.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. I think that was stupid. I don't think they should have advertised that.
I sold a ton of them, so it's hard to say. It was stupid,
It was. I guess it's smart. Get some money.
Quick side note here. I don't remember why I was looking this up, but there was a reason why at some point, and we went way past
Which
it.
Which one is it?
No. Do you guys remember Flappy Bird?
Yeah.
How much was Flappy Bird at launch? Was it $1 or was it free?
It was free.
It was free?
Oh.
So, quick side note. One thing I just saw here. Did you know that... So, you know how they took Flappy Bird down? The creator was getting death threats and stuff like that? Literally, iPhones with Flappy Bird downloaded on right now are selling for like over $1,000.
Yeah, they're insane.
And people who still have it on
nuts.
iCloud. People still have it on iCloud can re-download it.
I know, it's not $1,000. Like, holy frick, dude. But I was looking it up for a reason because for some reason I was wondering, I can't remember.
I have Flappy Bird?
Check and see. But like, for $1, I like how did he make money?
Because the downloads.
It was ads.
It was all ads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Connor, think about it. I download Flappy Bird, I play it, an ad pops up. He makes $1.
Yeah.
A million people play that, he makes $1 million.
I mean,
Like,
that's what I figured.
That
I was
thing
just
was a
making sure.
craze too.
oh my gosh,
God.
it was on level
I
with
think
Pokemon Go.
in like one day he made like $50,000.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Flappy
he
Bird.
took it down, dude. Like, can
He
you imagine
just-
how
he
much
was
more
like,
money he could
I'm
have
getting-
made?
It's
I'm getting bullied.
But it's
Yeah.
because he hadn't made games before and he wasn't used to the.
I would have been like,
like-
soaking up my tears with my money.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
my
Yeah,
$100 bills.
With all that money, like,
And I'm surprised,
Jesus
even
Christ.
still, he took it down. Great. How did he never bring it back?
Well, I mean, technically they did. I mean, if you go to any arcade now, guess what one of the biggest machines are? Flappy Bird, the arcade game.
But it's
You're
not the
just like-
same.
I
It's
mean,
completely. It's like made different.
I know.
'cause
I
there was
literally
no
think it's called
copyright.
Flappy Bird.
But it's not the same creator. It's like completely different looking
Yeah.
birds. They
But
created
what I
because
mean
it
is the
wasn't.
game lived on.
Oh
with
yeah,
or without him.
and,
right?
and especially with there's multiple versions.
And there's
like-
knockoffs. Yeah,
There's
big
like
time.
Crossy Bird, and it's like Crossy Road Bird. And, yeah, Minecraft Bird. Like yeah, there's so many different.
It's not like it's a hard game to make.
It's not. And the thing is, I don't think he copyrighted it either. So it's like you can free reign, call it Flappy Bird. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at it on my phone, just barely seeing if I had it. I don't, sadly.
No.
I know. I was
Expensive
wondering.
phone.
The thing is, I had it too, and I'm like, I have to have
I
it.
deleted it,
somewhere,
I
but I
think.
guess I probably
Stupid.
deleted it.
Yeah.
But I was looking at it, and there's a game. It's called Flappy Bird: The Flappy Adventure.
Nice.
Is it the same bird?
I don't know.
The
It looks
original
like the
bird?
same bird. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go through some of the top free-to-play games, and I want to hear if you
As of
guys-
now?
As of now,
2019?
and if
Oh, it's Fabby
2019.
Bird.
Fabby,
Fabby.
Oh, I thought you said Fappy.
Fappy,
Fappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
Okay.
Jerks off the whole time.
Oh my gosh,
Fappy Bird.
as he faps through the tunnels.
Fabs through the tunnels.
Ew.
Anyway, Warframe. Have you guys played it?
Yeah.
I haven't
awesome.
played it.
I have not really.
The thing is, I recommend it because like I didn't play it before it was on Switch, but there's not a lot of games on Switch that are free, so it's like might as well.
Might as well take advantage of
It's
it.
cool.
I got
Space
I got a
Ninjas.
Switch game for a penny.
Which one?
I don't know. It was on sale for Christmas.
It was a
literally,
penny?
It was literally a penny.
What
You're like,
the heck?
So I just used one of my Microsoft.
Why not just make it
points, and
free
it's just
at
like-
that point?
I know, right? I was like,
Yeah,
what the
it's
frick?
like, what are you gaining? 100 people download that game, you get $1.
Congratulations, 1 million
But I
people
seen it, and I
download the
was
game.
like,
You get
why
$1,000.
not?
It's like we don't even get 100 views on our videos. It's like, can you imagine if like that guy gets 100 downloads? He's like, I got 100 downs. I got $1. I get a spicy chicken.
1 million
McDonald's.
people downloaded my game. I get $1,000. Wait.
That'd be insane.
World
And
of
not even
Tanks.
all that, because some of it's got to go to Nintendo.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah,
plus
how
his,
does
plus his
that even
taxes
work?
and shit.
How does that even work? Yeah, a cent per the game. How much of that cent goes to Nintendo?
It's like a quarter of a cent.
He's like, yeah, I got a quarter of a cent for this game. Yay.
Every download, I get 0.1%
$250 minus taxes if you downloaded 1 million games.
Yeah, that would suck. That doesn't seem like that's worth it at all. At least make it like 50 cents. You know?
I don't know.
World of Tanks, you guys played that?
I haven't.
Really.
No.
Me neither.
It's been on Xbox for the longest time.
I've heard of that game forever.
Oh yeah.
Um,
They announced it with the Xbox One. Remember?
Did they?
I'm pretty
I
sure,
don't
yeah.
remember. World of Warships,
Nope.
No.
War Thunder,
Nope.
No.
Let It Die.
Nope.
Wait, War Thunder.
Yeah, no.
Maybe.
PUBG, obviously.
I
We
did.
played that. Yep.
That's not free to play though.
Yeah.
Now it
it's-
is.
It's on here. Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
free to play.
it's
though.
not free to play.
Well,
You have to pay for it. It's on Game
mobile.
Pass.
On mobile, it is.
On mobile.
The
yes.
Xbox One and PC versions of Powerhouses aren't free to play. But if you want to enjoy some... What are they talking about? Why is
not
this on
free
here?
to play, yeah.
It's not free to play.
I don't consider it.
It's on here, though. Fortnite, obviously. H1Z1. Yeah, so for the record,
heard of
I don't know if
H1Z1.
these are just the ones that come up. These might not all be necessarily free to play.
H1Z1
But they're all kind of the same idea.
was the original Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, isn't it the same guy
got a
who
gas.
Well,
did PUBG?
Minecraft had a whole
am I wrong?
thing.
Had the Hunger Games Battle
Yeah.
Royale. It's the same thing.
Is the guy that made PUBG the same guy that made H1Z1? I swear it was.
I think he was part of the team.
That's what I thought.
Didn't he like go off on his own? That's why it's called Players Unknown's Battle.
I mean, that's what I thought, but I could be wrong. I don't want to say that.
because it's not called PUBG necessarily. It's actually called Battlegrounds.
Well, it's called
It's Players Unknown's Battlegrounds.
Player Unknown.
Like it's comma Battlegrounds. So the game's called Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
It's not even called PUBG.
Darwin Project. No idea
Heard
what
of
that
that.
is. CCG.
The Darwin Project's like
Or
Battle Royale.
these are card games. Hearthstone. I've heard of Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's not necessarily. That's more mobile though, right?
Well, yeah,
Is this
but these are
considering
still
mobile?
free to play, I guess. Right?
And it's made by World of Warcraft and shit. It's Blizzard.
Blizzard, yeah. Gwent, that's the Witcher one.
Oh yeah,
Elder Scrolls Legends,
that hasn't even come out though.
it's out apparently. Elder Scrolls Legends.
You know, where did
No, because I pre-registered.
what
for
happened
it.
to
This is a
Elder
card
Scrolls
game.
Blades?
Oh, Legends
Yeah,
is the card game.
Legends.
Yeah, Blades. That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
about.
it got delayed.
It
Oh,
got
did it
delayed.
get
It
delayed?
got delayed to 2019.
I mean, it's huge. I'm not surprised.
That seems cool actually.
It does. It's got even some open world elements.
Skyrim on your phone.
Yeah.
They did it.
There's a whole bunch more here. I'm not going to go through all of them all, but League of Legends, Dota 2, those are some big ones. Dota and League of Legends are two
Seem
games
same.
that look exactly the same to me. And every time I see them, I don't
Played
know which
both
one's
of them,
which.
and they both feel the same.
You've played both of
Yeah.
them?
They're the hero-esque games.
What are they? Like I still
So,
I've seen gameplay for them, but I
Each
don't
team
understand what
spawns
it
on
is.
different sides, and you try and get to the other sides and destroy their tower. You destroy their tower, you win.
But imagine, Connor, imagine Apex Legends, Overwatch, like the heroes. There's different abilities. Tons of those. There's like 80 of them. And then there's like little minions that you kill. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I didn't get into it.
There
I
was
did
not
try it.
80 in League of Legends. There was like
No,
eight.
There's a lot in one of them. Dota 2 or League of Legends, there's so many heroes that you can pick from. But I didn't get into League of Legends. I tried that one.
Another
couldn't
big
get
one
into
we forgot about is Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
It's a huge one.
That's a good one. I put a lot of money into. I probably put $100 into Pokemon Go.
I've only put like probably 20, but still got my worth out of it. See, that's totally different players' experiences, but still.
Yeah.
I don't
it
even
is
know
too-
how many hours I have. in
And
that
this
game.
goes without saying, but like you can play these games and still get tons of enjoyment without them without putting
Without
a
even
dollar
putting
into
a dollar,
it.
yeah.
I mean that goes for me.
It makes
like,
it
right?
faster to put if you put your money in it to get all the other
Exactly.
Pokemon and makes your life easier because
'Cause
you get
that's-
more incubators and stuff. But
And that's the thing is I'm not nearly I don't play Pokemon Go like you guys do.
I mean,
all,
look
of
at you,
course.
Apex-
But like I love I mean I don't love, but I really enjoyed Pokemon Go. I still enjoy it. Like when I play it, I enjoy it. But I don't need to put.
Well, I
money
mean, look
into
at a
it,
game like Apex Legends. Do you ever think you'll ever put $1 into it?
Apex Legends might be different. It depends on where things are in a couple months. As of right now, I have no plans to put.
But
money
you're
into
still enjoying it.
But I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm having a
exactly.
blast with it.
And somebody like Hayes
Apex
said-
Legends might be one of the first ones I considered doing it. It's going to depend on where it's at in a couple months.
Right.
If it's fallen off and nobody plays it, no, I'm not going to. But if it's still big and we're also playing it and everyone's invested into it, then I'll probably throw in a few bucks to get some loot boxes or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's not that bad. But, yeah, I actually want to talk about Apex Legends more. I want to talk about our impressions of the game itself.
we'll do it kind of after this.
Okay,
I wonder what
else you guys have about.
You know the red coins on Apex Legends? They buy the Legends, right? What else do they buy? After you've bought the two Legends.
They're like money on the store. You can use those to buy stuff on the store too.
Oh, okay. Goodness sakes.
So
Gotcha.
I've played around with the store a lot because I've actually bought things.
I haven't seen anything on the store. I want to talk about gambling with loot boxes and stuff like that. What are your guys' opinion on this? Because this has been a big deal.
We are in Utah, by the way.
Where it's illegal.
Which it's not legal in Utah.
Yeah.
Which in a lot of states I think it is legal.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
if
gonna
a
look it
lot.
up.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
let's
less
see.
than...
How-
I know the states surrounding us. It is.
It is, yeah.
Like we're next to Vegas, you know.
Nevada,
We
Nevada.
Wendover, which is literally like what, an hour and a half. Away,
Literally,
2 hours away
New
from us.
Mexico, Colorado, I think it's all legal in all those ones. Besides Utah.
So like in Utah, that's the closest you're really gonna get to gambling.
Okay, so only 2 states have 100%
Legality?
ban on. No wait.
100% ban.
Oh, only 2 states have 100% ban on gambling. Hawaii, and can you guys guess the other?
Utah.
Utah.
Bro, what? Of course it's those
We're one of
two.
2 states that has a complete.
gotta change
That
100%
makes
eventually.
sense, dude. All the
Only
Samoans.
6 states do not allow lottery betting. This isn't answering.
It's
the
too
question.
confusing. I think
What
most states
ha-
do
What
allow it.
states have legalized gambling? Wow, there's quite a bit.
I'm sure most of them have legalized gambling.
To an extent, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
'Cause
like
I don't know about
Just
casinos.
name a few: California, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa.
But I'm wondering if it's
That
considered...
surprises me.
But I'm wondering if it's considering casinos.
It's just
That's
because we grew
just a
up
slot
in
machine.
Utah.
Because a slot machine's different than a casino. Because a casino, I don't think is legal in certain states.
yeah, I do think
Well,
it is.
that's what's in
Because like,
casinos.
but like,
Oh,
but
okay,
just like a
okay, here
slot
we go.
machine and
Here
a
we
gas
go.
station.
Nevada and Louisiana are the only 2 states in which casino-style gambling is 100% legal.
Okay.
I was gonna say
Okay.
So where?
Louisiana.
Louisiana and Nevada. So
Okay.
Vegas and then New Orleans area, apparently. So
Because like Atlantic City, I think that's in Louisiana, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, that sounds right. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I know Atlantic City is the poor
Georgia.
man's Las Vegas.
I think it's either there or Atlanta.
Either way, yeah. So gambling. I want to talk more so about like the digital gambling
of course.
that people are talking about, because I've heard so many different things, and I don't know 100% where I stand with it. But there's people that are saying gambling, like loot boxes, is gambling. Period. And I can totally see that argument. And then there's people are saying, no, it's not gambling because of this and this and this, or it depends on the game. It's case-by-case basis, which is, I can also understand. I think there are case-by-case basis.
Yeah, I 100% agree. A game I'd like to bring up that it's a case of it is gambling is Black Ops 3. So Black Ops 3 had the care packages that you could buy. And legit, they came out with the MSMC. They brought it back from Black Ops 2, and I was like, frick yeah. They brought back the Galil, and I was like, I want these. And you had to earn them through the loot boxes. I literally, it was when I was like had a job and stuff, and I spent $100 on loot boxes.
Tanner's homeless now.
Yeah, I'm homeless now.
But like,
can't you tell? Yeah, but no, didn't get one of them.
We keep him out on the street most
until we have to record them. We're like,
yeah,
come on in.
Yeah. We'll hold the bone.
They're like, here's some water.
Record the podcast and then get back outside.
No, but legit. So they had just come out, literally like that day, and I wanted to get them, and I was assuming, oh, they just come out, they're gonna have a higher chance of dropping. I didn't get one of them, and I'm like, what the heck? I didn't get any new items from the new update. I only got old stuff, and I'm like, why? Like, why did that happen? $100 worth. And I didn't even get the thing I wanted. 100% gambling. That's gambling. Like, that is 100% gambling. That's what you do when you go to a casino. You want the thing you want. You don't get it. Too bad.
Well, and also there's these odds that go into these things. Like, you have a 1 in 100 chance of getting this rare item or whatever bullcrap that they have in their terms of service. And it's, like, super fine print, We're talking, like, you don't even notice that stuff.
Right.
And I know there's been a lot of controversies lately with some games. I don't remember which ones, but, like, I'm sure Fortnite at some point had it. I'm sure Battlefront 2 definitely had it.
Yeah.
There's these little things where people have been finding out, like, this one item, it's
so
nearly
rare.
Impossible. Like, you'd have to... I think some site, I don't know which site, but they did a test where they're like, we're trying to get this one item in Battlefront 2, I think it was. And they literally did 1,000 tries. 1,000 tries or something like that. Didn't get it. And it had like...
I know what video you're talking about, because they said it's on par with winning the lottery.
Yeah, it's like... It was like this insane... Like,
it was one of the card games.
And it's one of the things they promote on their advertisements. Like when they're promoting the loot boxes for Battlefront 2 or whatever game it was like... On the front, it was like, look, you can get this cool thing. Mm-hmm. It's like literally a 1 in a million chance.
Well, there was another video where it's a car game. It's a car game, and literally the car on like the cover or something. And they're like, we're going to try to get this car. And they said,
Forza.
To get this car, it's on par with winning the lottery. Like, you have the same amount of chances to get this car out of this loot box as winning the lottery, which is
1 in like a million.
You would literally... think about how much money you would have to spend. Like, let's say you didn't ever get it. You could potentially never get that car.
This is the thing. I really wish games would just... You could know what you were buying. I don't understand why you can't... Because if, like we've already talked about, if you guys knew there was a skin you really wanted in Fortnite, would you rather have to try to loot box it, try to get it
for cheaper,
1,000 tries?
Fortnite has
or
no
pay
loot
$10
boxes,
right up.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's why we were talking about that. Why Fortnite does microtransactions right. Because even though it costs a lot, you're still getting what you want.
Yeah, Fortnite does the model that you like.
Which is you
get buy what you buy.
Buy the specific...
Because Fortnite has absolutely zero loot boxes. There's nothing like a loot box, except for in the
Save the World, which they'll change that.
And really play
which they already
Nobody
did.
Cares about.
But granted, they already changed that now. Where the loot llamas, you see what's in them before you open them.
Yeah. But... Yeah, so you just buy what you want in Fortnite. Whereas in like Apex Legends, you have to do loot boxes.
Granted, you
Same
could
thing
buy...
as in Black Ops 4. What's the...
Blackout?
What's the... Blackout. What's the... What do they do there?
It's like the Battle Pass.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I haven't looked into Black Ops 4s enough.
They do sell
the
them.
Pass,
They do sell them, but it's weird. It's on a weird schedule because it is kind of randomized.
Theirs are only $10.
Granted though, they sell reticles for like $5.
Yeah,
so
it was
$1
$1 for a dot reticle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was for a common dot because they have a legendary red dot site that was literally $5 the other day. Wow. I'm like, what the freak?
Yeah, that's tough to swing. Where I stand is I feel like if it if your odds are less likely to be getting something and you're not being honest and upfront about that, I think it is gambling. Now the question is,
they need to say what the percentage of
the question is,
Apex Legends does that too.
Should that make it illegal? Because technically, where we're living right now, guys, Utah, me and Hasten can. We're 21. Tanner, you cannot be buying that stuff.
I'm breaking the
legally,
law.
Technically, you know, if that
well, no,
was
not even that. Yeah,
sure,
you guys are old enough, but you guys are technically breaking the law because it's illegal in this state. You guys buy and it's illegal. No matter whether you're of age, it's still illegal. You know what I mean?
Doing it over the internet, I could be anywhere.
Yeah, they don't have my GPS on your.
They don't have my IP address.
They know everything. My phone's listening to me right now. I'm gonna get ads for
gambling.
Stuff like gambling because. Have you guys seen this bull?
Oh yeah. Oh dude,
it's nuts.
Dude, I took a screenshot of it. I was talking with Gracie and I'm like, oh, I need a red tie, a rose tie for Sweethearts.
Oh my gosh.
Months ago, literally, I'm just sitting there, I'm looking at Instagram, and it's like a rose tie. Buy it on eBay, and I'm like,
it freaks me out. I want to like.
I've never had any of this happen.
Really? How, dude? It's insane.
Just sit there.
I don't know if it's because I have like Apple encrypts.
We're gonna try it right now. Okay, so, hey, pull out your phone.
Have it open. All you have to do is have it open.
Just turn on your phone, and we're gonna say, let's see.
McDonald's.
No, not McDonald's is too big.
No, I get an ad for that.
Yeah, you got to do something like
dog toys.
Diapers.
No, dog toys.
No, wait, diapers. Diapers is good.
Okay,
diapers. Hasten, you need diapers.
I love diapers.
You love diapers.
I need diapers for my new child.
Oh, my kids need diapers.
Oh, you need diapers, Hasten. Okay, now watch.
Man, I really
and give it
diapers.
a couple weeks or whatever. You're gonna get
not even a couple weeks.
Scrolling through Instagram and you're gonna get a diaper.
Don't even do it now. Give it a second.
Yeah, not even a second. You got to give it a couple weeks.
No, you can literally give it like an hour, and it'll show up.
Because for me,
I'll check it out on the end of the show, and we'll see if it's there.
It freaks me out because like literally, I am scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and the ad section pops up, and I've been talking about watches. Like I've been wanting a watch.
It's a video game ad right there.
Well,
I mean that's targeted.
But still.
But I'll get stuff like I'll mention a watch. I'll be like, oh, I put on my watch, or I'll say something like watch, and all of a sudden, I get ads for watches.
So what I get is something like this. So Amazon.com comes on my Facebook, and it's like, hey, you want this? And it's just like, I don't know, this isn't stuff I've looked at. But it's stuff I've viewed.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, frick.
Because your Alexa's right there. Like, I go on Amazon.
Alexa's joining the
podcast. Hi, Alexa. But yeah, so just like Amazon stuff. And a lot of times it's not like this is a bidet. Clearly, I've bought
you got a bidet. Hasten is a
recently.
bidet person.
Gosh. You guys just don't like your butthole being clean.
No, thank you.
It just seems strange. I mean, I want to try it out. I do. I'm genuinely curious.
No, I'm excited for you to get your butthole
I don't want
pierced.
water shut up my butthole.
It's freaky anyway. That was a quick side note, but like I'll literally say something like water bottle, and all of a sudden I'll get water bottle ads. And I don't type it up. I won't even look that stuff up. I just say it,
strange.
And it does it.
I don't remember that happen. I've seen the articles and stuff. I just don't remember it happening.
Well, no, and a good example of it doing is, you know, on Instagram there's the Discover page, right? And sure, it targets you, but I will literally play Fortnite for 3 months straight, and I'll get stuff on the Discover for Fortnite. But then as soon as I start playing Destiny, I start saying Destiny a lot, I won't even look at stuff on Instagram about Destiny. All of a sudden, it's in my Discover page. Oh, look at the Destiny. I got this gun for... And I'm like, I didn't even look up stuff for Destiny. Like, how does it know that I'm back into that?
Yeah, I'm also just not a fan of stuff like cookies and stuff like that, too. Like, you'll be just on a website, and all of a sudden, there's ads for stuff you like, and you're like...
Oh, because the cookies, yeah. I thought you were talking about real cookies, and you're like, I'm not a big fan of cookies.
It's like, you just took cookies last week.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
This is a hill I'll die on.
You just took cookies last week over cake.
Why are you talking about cookies?
So where do you guys stand with the gambling thing?
I think as long as it's, I don't know, free to play, I don't care. I personally think everywhere casinos should be legal, and I don't care
because it's your choice.
What do you think age wise?
18.
Your age.
I don't care. Like, it's really not a big deal. Like 18.
But I think
you're fiscally responsible. Like, do your own thing.
Yeah, you're an adult.
I agree with that too. I obviously don't think it should be allowed for everyone because I've like my little brother, 12 years old. I know he could be buying stuff.
You bust his money
18.
Yeah, once he's 18, totally.
Who cares? I don't care what you do.
You're
an adult.
It's his responsibility.
Granted, though, I do think in order for it to be accepted, it should tell you your chances.
I think so too.
When you click on the loot box, it should say, these are the items we have available. This is the likelihood of you getting this certain item. Because then if you can see it's a 0.00001% chance
exactly,
that you
but
get
that's
this
the
gun.
thing.
Not real
like,
gambling.
They need to be upfront about it then. Because that's
otherwise they need to call it
gambling. They
gambling.
try to just say it's not gambling. In fact, some country right now is like
it's Australia.
suing
I think it's Australia.
EA or something like that because of the whole. They're like, to them it's gambling, and they are taking it to court, and it's like this big deal. And they are like banning games that have loot boxes, and I think it's only a matter of time before it becomes a bigger discussion in the United States. I think it's just there's so much else going on that people are worried about that it's not that big of a deal.
We don't need to worry about loot boxes now.
But like, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of years it becomes a discussion if it gets worse. Like, I think things are actually getting better in terms of it after Battlefront 2.
The next Madden's gonna have like all the cards for the Ultimate Team lined up, and it's gonna have you like in VR grab the slot machine thing here. And
you got Tom Brady.
Well, yeah, what if we get to VR, the future of VR, and they don't even try anymore? They're just like, it's just a lot of machines.
Slot machine. There's even a note at the like you go to the store and it's like, no, this is not gambling, and also it's like a slot machine.
Welcome
and it's like,
to Madden Casino.
You got Tom Brady. Now you have to pay $5 to play as him. It's like, what?
You didn't get anything. It's like real gambling. In fact, you lost money. We just took $40 of your dollars and you didn't get anything.
You didn't get anything. You got a quarter. Here you go. It's like, wait, this is gambling.
Oh my gosh, this is casino gambling. Am I in Vegas?
They're like, hey, welcome to the Madden Casino. It's like, oh, do I earn players here? Nope. What's it for? Oh, you just bet money.
You just lose money. You don't get anything.
We're EA. Q.
Exactly.
Has nothing to do with the game. Just the casino in the game.
Anyway, is there anything else free to play wise we want to talk about?
I think, just lastly to say, like, as much as like Fortnite's a joke and stuff, I think it did honestly help the gaming community.
I think Fortnite does it right, honestly.
Oh yeah, and I think the industry.
I think their
general,
stuff is too expensive, me personally, but
I agree, and I think it's hard to disagree with that. Like $20.
I actually think you could disagree with me. I think it's just a personal preference thing. I think there's people that's totally worth it for. Like you, like Parker, like there's people that are like, oh, whatever, I'll pay that money for that. Yeah. It's just not my. I mean, I'm willing to talk. I'll pay $20 for a freaking amiibo. You know, it's like that's just what I'll buy with that money.
Granted, though, then you think about it, it's only a digital item that if Fortnite ever goes away,
but the future is digital. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, but something like an amiibo you have forever.
Yeah, it's physical. Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, I think what it did for the gaming industry is at the time the gaming industry was suffering with the loot boxes and the microtransactions. Mm-hmm. People were getting pissed. The government was getting involved, being like, okay, this shouldn't be allowed.
It's the first time the government almost got involved in video games.
They almost.
Well, I mean, they did get involved, like
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and the only other time they did get involved was when the ESRB.
Yeah.
Before the ESRB. Like when Mortal Kombat came out, that was the other time that it was like a big deal because they were like, what the frick? This game is so
yeah, you can't be doing this in kids,
Yeah.
And I think at the time they needed a game like Fortnite where it was completely free, so you didn't have to pay a dime for the game. And if you wanted to buy stuff, you could. But it wasn't gambling. It wasn't random. If you want to pay $20 for this skin, well, there it is. You don't have to do a loot box or maybe you'll get it. No, it's like it's there.
So one thing I've heard is a lot of games nowadays are having a hard time. Game companies we're seeing going out of business a lot lately because they aren't making money. Especially games that aren't like these free to play ongoing evergreen games.
Oh my gosh.
Like Fortnite's or some games that have microtransactions that constantly are making money. For example, like God of War. I mean, it sold tons of copies. Don't worry about that. But guess what? Once it's not like they're making microtransaction money. Like the only money they make now is when people buy that game, and then they're done. Like they buy that game. There's no DLC for that game. There's not one piece of DLC you can buy for that game. No. Not a season pass. Nothing. That game is done money wise. So one thing I've heard is a lot of people are questioning whether it's time for games to finally go up in price because we have been at the $60 mark since we were kids, really, like GameCube.
I mean, who was it? I mean, literally today I was looking at the news and there's literally a gaming company, I think it's Activision right now, laying off like they said people in the hundreds.
Yeah, Activision just had major layoffs.
That's crazy. Like,
I don't know though. If you can't make money on your game with every person that's buying it, $60. Like $60 is a lot.
I know, and that's the thing though. Is like $60 is a lot for the average consumer. I agree, but it's like, I don't know. Would you rather pay $70 for the next Spider-Man and have that be your full game, or pay $60 and then have to pay microtransactions for whatever little thing?
Yeah.
For extra money, like It's tough to say. I think it depends on the game, right? But
it is. So it's Activision Blizzard is planning on announcing job cuts in the numbers of the hundreds. So it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And that's Activision.
Yeah, it's Activision, and they just had to drop Bungie because they didn't have enough money to sustain Bungie.
That was also.
I don't know how they don't have it. They own Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Call of Duty did so great.
Not only do they own Call of Duty, think about all the games they own. They own so many.
Well, games are expensive to make. That's one thing a lot of people forget is they're not cheap. In fact, games can cost more than movies.
I mean, wasn't it Destiny 1 originally had the record? It costs like something millions of dollars.
I think Destiny is like
for
one of the
development.
most expensive entertainment products of all time.
It was like something $1 million. Oh my gosh.
Well, way more than $1 million. Are you kidding?
No, I said like something million. So like,
it was a ton.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't the millions, yes.
Which is crazy because
wasn't it like $10,000 or something?
$10,000.
Wasn't it like $1,000?
Wasn't it like a whole wasn't it like $800? Like, oh my gosh.
Dude, that's a lot of money. No, but that's crazy. Like,
yeah. Like, so what do you guys think? We're on the precipice of the next generation of games. Xbox Scarlet and the PS5. Do we think it's finally time? Not saying that it's what we want. I would love for games to say $60 forever because that's what I'm used to.
I saw an article.
Do you guys think it'll happen? Do you think there will be a price increase and go up to $70?
I do. I saw an article.
I'm surprised Nintendo didn't do it.
Me too.
I think they'll be the ones.
I don't know. I don't think Nintendo will. I think because you have to remember, Nintendo is now on a different schedule than Xbox and PlayStation.
That's true.
Switch came out 2 years ago. They've already got theirs out and they're $60. So they would literally have to be like, oh, guess what? All games going forward are $70. Like, that would be hard to swing. I think they would have to wait for their next system. Which we're talking is going to be after the next Xbox and PlayStation.
The reason I do is because I saw an article, and I don't mean to, I feel bad because I can't cite the source. But I remember the article was talking about how a movie, right? You go to see a movie, it's $10 and you get a 2-hour experience. Yeah. A game, you're paying $60 and you get a 300+ hour experience.
Depending on the game.
Depending on the game, which is crazy.
I think the age-old argument is like you should be getting $1 an hour. Yeah. So if you buy a $60 game, you roughly should be able to put 60 hours into the game if you wanted to.
So something like, I don't know, Forsaken, right? Which came out, Destiny 2 Forsaken, which was its own thing. It came on disc. It had about 40 hours of content. They shouldn't be expecting to sell that for 60. If it, on the other hand, was like Skyrim, 300+ hours, it might have to cost a little more than 60. I wouldn't say 300.
That's what I was going to say, too.
I'd say, maybe 100.
That's a good point. I wish there was games would be more okay with charging whatever.
Instead of different.
That's hard, though, because then you're going to get into these games like Madden, whereas you have infinite hours. So they're like, oh, yeah, this game's $120. Like, yeah.
This game's $1 million.
There's thousands of hours of content here, billions of hours, because you can just keep playing.
And Madden's a different thing where it's like, it's not like they roll credits in Madden. It's not like God of War where you beat the game, you're done. It's like
there would have to be
you just can play that game forever.
And there'd have to be an argument of which games are considered hours.
And that's the thing is like Far Cry New Dawn, the new Far Cry that's coming out in just a couple months. It's almost like an offshoot of Far Cry 5.
It's like Far Cry Primal.
It's $40. It's not the full 60. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are really happy about that. They're like, "Oh, cool. A game that's recognizing it's not the next big huge Far Cry game, so they're charging $20 less than what a normal Far Cry costs." I think that's awesome.
I think so too.
And so it's like, I wish more games would be willing to admit that or show that when they come out. Because another example of that is like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a game that...
I know one.
What?
So Fallout 76. We can go to that.
Yeah, I think that's a good one, yeah.
Bethesda, they come out, they say, oh, we're working on Elder Scrolls 10. Or 7.
10.
Already, they're like, what?
I'll be 80.
They're coming out.
We're working on it. It's going to be a 40-year development cycle.
They're coming out with Elder Scrolls 6, and they're like, but we have Fallout 76 to hold you over. They should understand that, okay, when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it's going to be $120 base price. Because it's our big project. It's taken us 10, 20 years to make. But it's like, the thing is...
You have to pay $120
but,
for
Connor,
this game.
Imagine...
No, I know. I'm just saying. Like, that would just be... Imagine walking into Walmart and it's like, $60, $120.
But imagine a movie. Imagine a movie that's taken 10, 20 years to make. It's a 7-hour movie. And they're like, oh yeah, it's still $10 to go see. It's like, that cost us so much more and so much manpower and more years to make.
See, the movie industry is actually a completely opposite beast because the movie industry has a standard. You can, if you go to the movie theater right now, if you go to AMC, Megaplex, Cinemark, whatever you go to, and you want to see Avengers Infinity War, it's going to cost you $10 or whatever the standard ticket cost is. It's going to cost you the same amount to see Avengers Infinity War as it's going to cost you to see Whiplash, which is an indie Sundance movie, right? It's going to cost you the same amount. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Avengers cost way more to make, probably took way more time, way more special effects, way more talent in terms of actors. It's like, that doesn't matter. It's still going to cost you the same as an indie movie, right? And then Blu-rays and DVDs are the same way too. When Blu-ray comes out, it's usually what? Anywhere from 20 to $30?
20, 30, yeah.
Depending on if you're getting the 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, whatever copy, you know? They're all going to cost that much. You don't traditionally see a movie like, it's like, oh, we're $5 because we're an indie movie, so it's out for $5. It's like, no, it's going to cost $20 usually for Blu-ray and DVD combo pack.
But I mean, I'm talking about, like, as far as the scale of the game. Like, sure, money and stuff is different, but if you're going in and you're getting a game that's going to last you years and years and years and years, you shouldn't be upset when you're paying more than you should. You know, like something like Yooka-Laylee that I bought. It was $20. I got about $20 worth of gameplay. I wasn't, upset that it was $20. It's too much. And I wasn't like, it should have been more. It was exactly what I expected for a $20 game. Something like Skyrim, I would have been fine with paying $100. I would have been like, I got way more than $100 worth of
bought the
gameplay.
dang thing 6 times. I
Exactly.
paid $120.
For real. But like, then
they got more than 120 out of me.
But then you play something like Black Ops 4, where I'm like, yeah, I spent about that $60. That makes sense. You know, it's a $60 game. I'm not expected to play anymore.
You throw a lot of hours into Black Ops, though. Like,
yeah.
Call of Duty, that's one that you'll throw a ton of hours into.
But granted, also, though, it's different because then you also get DLC.
Well, the thing is, too, is you can also make an argument with Black Ops 4 that, particularly Black Ops 4, doesn't have a single-player campaign. Mm-hmm. So that is something they removed from the game.
But
I know, but so I could see you technically making an argument by being like, Black Ops 4 should have cost $40 at launch. And then, yeah, they have Blackout, which is a Battle Royale mode, and they have tons of microtransactions to that game. So it's like, that's how they make up for the $20 base price they cut out. Because they have an entire online Battle Royale mode. Literally, you can't play Black Ops 4 and enjoy it, I'd say, unless you played online, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's a very online-driven game. It's extremely hard to play that game locally. Or just
you could play zombies, though.
Sure, with 2 people, but we tried, or 4 people. Remember how bad that was when we tried to play 4 people zombies split screen?
That's true.
It was like, you couldn't even see what was going on.
That's true.
So, like, it's mostly an online game, right? And so if you take that into account, it's like, they probably could have cost, I know they couldn't because it's Call of Duty, but they probably could have charged $40. And, you know, if they charged $40, I would be more inclined to buy microtransactions, which is saying something because I don't like to buy microtransactions. But if I had only paid $40 for Black Ops 4, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like,
I think, but then
I'll pay, $20 worth of skins and whatnot for this.
But then I think the company is running the risk of the people, because there is
a cheaper game.
Well, and then there is the half the population that'll be like, oh, it's $40. Yeah, I'll pay some money for microtransactions, then I'll buy the DLC. But then there's that other half that they'll buy it. That's it.
Or
you only get $40 from that person the entire time they play it. They don't buy any DLC, microtransactions, nothing. They're just risking so much of their money that they could earn.
Well, I also think there's the people that look at something like, you're supposed to charge what you think you're worth. Like, there's the argument to be made that some people will look at it and be like, oh, $40. It's not a real Call of Duty game. For example, like that's how people are looking at the new Far Cry. Oh, it's $40.
It's not a real Far Cry.
Not a real Far Cry game because it's $40.
Perfect. Exactly. Like a Destiny DLC. They came out with literally, they're all called expansion packs, but they're like, Warmind, it's $20. Curse of Osiris, it's $20. But Forsaken, it's $60. It's like, oh well, the other ones must have not been real DLCs. Oh, the one that's coming out after Forsaken, it's only $20. It's not gonna be as good. You know, even though this is the exact same thing, same scale, same everything else, you're getting a different experience. And I do agree that that's true. You might have that conception of people being like, oh, it's not a real Call of Duty. It's $20. But they could, honestly, me and Parker, our little brother, were talking about this, they could make their own different separate games. They could come out and be like, Black Ops 4 Zombies is $20. Black Ops 4 Blackout is $20. Black Ops 4 multiplayer is $20.
Yeah.
Then you can pick and choose. Oh, I only want multiplayer and zombies.
I'm calling it
$40.
now. I actually think at some point Blackout's going to go free to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's almost a guarantee. I don't think it'll be necessarily anytime soon, but I bet you by this summer it'll be a free to play mode, and
because they already have free to play weekends,
and that's the thing. And they just did a free to play week, I think, just a couple weeks ago. Like anyone could play it for free, and so I kind of feel like personally that's kind of bull crap when and if that happens for someone like me, because it's like I spent $60 for that. You know, not for that mode specifically, but I paid $60 for your Battle Royale multiplayer and zombies experience.
I should get something.
Why do these people get 1/3 of the game for
Granted,
free?
though, companies usually do that. They'll come out and they'll be like, thank you for buying Black Ops 4 before we made Blackout free to play. Here's 2,000 COD points. Because I know something like Fortnite did that, where when Save the World went half off, because now it's permanently half off, they were like, oh, here's 800 V-Bucks and a back bling. It's like, that's really nice. Because I did buy it.
Well, I would think they should do something like that, because otherwise it'd be kind of bullcrap for the people that supported them up front. It's like otherwise.
I have 800 V-Bucks sitting in my account right now. Because I bought the.
Well, no, I was just saying that like for instance. So.
Oh, so they didn't do that?
Well, no, they have done. I wasn't saying there's not actually 800 V-Bucks, but they did give you like a black bling and then like some loot llamas from the Save the World, and they've given you stuff for supporting them from the beginning.
Gotcha.
But I'm just talking like in general. Usually games do that. Like Destiny's done that. Fortnite's done that.
Well, what would you guys like to see then? Would you guys like to see a standard price maintained throughout the next generation, or would you like to see games fluctuate depending on what they think they're worth? Because
I think 60. You got to have a standard.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I think 60 is good.
I think 60 is fine. I mean, if they up it to 70, I understand.
wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
I understand at this point, but I don't think you should be upping it to 80.
Yeah.
90.
I sure hope not.
Well, anytime soon. I think as inflation...
Sure, inflation goes up, but like...
But I think 70 is good for now. I think if they went up to 70, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be like, yeah, it's understandable.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset, but I'd be like, oh, that sucks. Like
$10 more.
Dang it, $10 more for every game I get. Yeah. You know, that goes a long way.
Oh yeah, eventually. Oh yeah. Think about it. You buy 10 games a year. That's $100 more you're spending.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. That's another game and a half you could have bought.
Oh yeah. But like I said, if they keep it at 60, whatever. I think they.
What are your guys'
I think they're making enough money. People can say, oh, all these companies are going out of business. Companies that waste their money.
I think until discs don't become a thing and it goes, gosh, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I really thought that Nintendo with these new cartridges, I thought they were going to up it.
Yeah,
I thought they would lower it if anything.
Really? No.
These cartridges they had to specifically make. All these discs are just on Blu-rays. Mm. Like all these games are on Blu-ray.
They had to make
discs,
their own cartridge.
They had to make their own cartridge for this.
Yeah, it's not like there's other cartridges like that.
Granted, though, you can make the argument like the 3DS, right? Sure, they're lower quality games, but they're only 40.
So I think my prediction is Nintendo will be the one that increases it, and it will stay 60 until Nintendo increases it.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be Nintendo because
I don't think so.
Because the thing is I do think
I don't think Xbox are. Because who's going to jump on that first? Whoever jumps on that first
is going
to get the backlash.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they're the bad.
I don't.
And then 4 months later, PlayStation's going to hop on that, or Xbox is going to hop on that and be like, "Yep, $70."
Oh yeah, now we're 72, so they're not the bad guy, but now everyone's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's really tough to say. That's a great point.
So then neither of them want to start. I think that's why it's Nintendo.
I don't think it'll be up to
Nintendo. It's the Golden Boys.
It's the ones that always make that risk.
No, I don't think so. And here's why I don't think so. Is I don't think it's going to be up to any of the big three. I don't think it'll be Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo. I think it's going to be up to the developers. I think it's going to be Activision or EA.
Steam. It could be the community.
I think it'll be Activision, EA, someone like that. That's like, watch, Activision will be like, any Activision game is $70 now. They can do that.
But the thing is that there's going to be a boycott. No Activision games. Nobody buying.
Yeah, there'll be a boycott until everyone's like,
I want
the next
Call of
Duty's out. I want it. Or everyone's gonna boycott freaking. Well, I guess they're not part of them anymore. They'll be like, oh, I want the next Destiny. So I'll pay the $70, I guess.
See, I think that's possible too. People will definitely. It could be some. It could be a developer.
The thing is that
EA.
But then
there's a ton of games.
But then once again, it's the same argument. Do they want to see be as the bad guy?
EA,
especially EA.
I bet you EA would totally do it.
No, not anymore.
EA does not freaking care.
No,
they want money.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I would have said, EA 100%. They would do it. But not now. They had too much backlash. They're not going to do that.
My prediction is it won't be. Well, I can't say that. I 100% think it will not be Nintendo. I think, and the only reason I say that is because Nintendo's next console won't come out for another 5 years. We're gonna have 2 new consoles before then. I don't think it's gonna be 5 years before we see an
that's why I'm thinking they're gonna stay the same.
Granted, though, I mean,
60.
It's gonna be tough.
Nintendo's always the one to start these things.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, like look at even something like crossplay, right?
Well, I know, but name when Nintendo raised their prices first.
No, not prices. I'm talking about they're always making those extra risks.
Did they raise Game Boy from like 40 to 50?
Game Boy?
I think Game Boy, GameCube.
Oh, I don't know.
I think GameCube it raised prices on that one.
But like the thing is like,
but that's the thing though, is PlayStation 2 and Xbox were the same price.
But the thing is like
whether Nintendo did it first or not, they did it too. So
well, yeah, and that's the thing.
I don't think it's right to get mad at the person who does it first.
Oh no.
Like, well, if everyone else jumped on board.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why I don't think Nintendo's gonna get. I feel like Nintendo's gonna do it first, like crossplay.
And the thing is, I don't think Nintendo will get crap if they do it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. They're the golden boy
compared to
Xbox or PlayStation. Because if Xbox does it, everyone's gonna be like, oh, pick typical Xbox. Let's go back to PlayStation. If PlayStation does it, typical PlayStation. Let's go back to Xbox. It's gonna be either way.
Now, if
Nintendo does it,
Xbox can't do it. They can't do it, especially this generation.
They can't lose again.
Now they've definitely been getting fans back recently.
Yeah.
But if there's a company that could do it that's not Nintendo, it's PlayStation. I guess because they could charge their $70 for their PlayStation exclusives.
Totally.
$70,
like the thing is, if the next God of War came out, it's like even if the next God of War came out, it's like it's $80. I'd be like,
but like I was
sucks, but I'll buy it.
But like I was trying to say, like with crossplay, nobody wanted to do crossplay. Xbox or PlayStation, neither of them. They're like, we don't want. Because then there's no reason to buy our consoles.
No, Xbox did. Xbox
no, I know, but originally they probably didn't want to because nobody wanted to do it. They didn't want to admit it because they didn't want people to be like, "Oh, I just don't even have to buy the other console because I can just play with my friends who have this one." Mm-hmm. Nintendo was the first ones. They were like, "Hey, you can play with anybody on your Rocket League account."
It's going to be interesting because here's the thing. I'm really excited for this year or even early next year when the next consoles are announced because how is this going to happen? Xbox. Who's going to announce their console first? Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
And when you
PlayStation's not even coming.
Xbox, I think, is going to do E3.
I think they're doing it this E3, but I don't think it's going to come out.
E3 or they're going to do a special conference
like XO18
summer.
So are you guys thinking that they're fall this year? Because I think it's
no.
Oh, you don't. No. I don't think it's going to come out this year.
No.
Okay,
you just think I'm thinking an announcement this year.
I agree.
I don't. My prediction
E3 or XO19.
My prediction is they get announced either this fall or early spring next year, and they come out 2020, end of 2020.
The thing is, my prediction, I think Xbox, they are very smart. They see that PlayStation's not coming. They're like, we have to announce it now.
But I don't.
We announce it now, we're going to win.
This is what I don't understand, is what would Xbox have to gain from announcing first?
Being the first. The thing is getting that hype. Because then everyone will think, oh, PlayStation's just riding the hype.
I know, but guess what? If they announce after PlayStation, they can do the thing of, we can destroy. Because this is
exactly what PlayStation did.
Yeah, exactly what PlayStation.
What can we
remember what PlayStation did? So PlayStation.
They literally talked crap like all conference to Xbox.
It was a huge deal. Everyone lost their minds.
We only talk about games here. At this
They totally ripped Xbox a new one. Xbox revealed the Xbox One in May, and then at E3, 2-3 weeks later, PlayStation's like, guess how you can share games on PlayStation? And they handed each other the physical game. And then smiled and thumbs up, and everyone went nuts. Yeah. Because remember, Xbox at their conference was like, you can't share games anymore. If you have a physical game, I can't give it to Hasten. Like, remember that was a thing you couldn't do with the original with Xbox One.
I thought you could.
No. That's what was nuts.
But you can now.
Well, you can now because
they changed it. They had to change it.
I don't remember that.
They went back. They had DRM, like online DRM. That you had to have your console online. If your console didn't connect online once every day, then your console didn't work.
Yeah. Like, it was nuts. I think you forget how ridiculous
Which, at the time, I was like, I'm fine with. Like, it's like...
Yeah, it wasn't a big
I thought it was kind of cool.
I think that's why I don't remember it. It's because it didn't bother.
It didn't affect us that much.
I was honestly kind of angry because it was like Xbox was trying to push new stuff out, but PlayStation... But, like, all the fans were just like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want
that.
But
now I'm kind of like, whatever. So,
and
but on this next console, it's happening.
It's crazy because that's the funny thing is... Give it a few more... Here's the thing. I stand by this. I think Xbox was thinking too far ahead. Yeah. I think if they had waited 3-4 years to make that announcement, I think everyone would have been fine.
That game can't be shared?
People weren't ready for what they were going for. No, if you remember, Xbox was basically pitching like this online future.
It was an online-only
console
thing.
Like, that's kind of what they were going for, which sounded ridiculous at the time. But I think now it's like that's what people are kind of thinking is going to happen. But anyway, long story short, PlayStation destroyed Xbox at E3 because they were like, they went after Xbox, and they're like, guess what? Xbox is like, guess how much the Xbox One is? $500. And then PlayStation at their conference was like, guess how much PlayStation is? $400. And so they totally owned Xbox in every single way. That's why PlayStation won this generation from the get-go.
Granted, though...
And so I don't know why Xbox wouldn't wait till after PlayStation.
The difference is with this one, is it's not just a couple months. It's a year. It's potentially a year or year and a half of a space between both consoles being announced. Yeah, sure, people will be like, oh, screw you, Xbox. Look at PlayStation just announced theirs is $300. It's like, that was a year and a half ago. Like, we've moved on from that.
I don't think so. People don't move on.
The thing is like, if Xbox comes out and they announce all this crazy shiz, there's going to be so much hype. Because PlayStation is going to have nothing to say.
Here's the thing, though.
What if they finally announce the HoloLens and then it ships with the next Xbox?
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
And then it comes out this year.
Like
and then what is PlayStation going to do? They're going to be like, we thought you guys were going to announce next year. Now we have to announce our console and come out with it that same year.
Here's what I can say almost 100% confidently. Sony and Microsoft know what each other are doing. I'm sorry. Like,
they have spies.
It's obvious. Like, you would have to be... I don't know. You'd have to be so unaware. Like, they know. They have an idea of when each other are going to launch their consoles. They have insiders. They have people who are working in the industry. They know that
I guess
Xbox knows when PlayStation is planning to launch their console. PlayStation knows when Xbox is planning to launch.
And they can generally gauge about 5-6 years.
Yeah. 5-6 years. I think they can gauge it down to a few months.
No, I'm talking 5-6 years of each console coming out. After the Xbox One comes out, they can be like, 5-6 years, they'll announce a new one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they know when things are going to happen. I don't think either one's oblivious. Like, I think they're planning around that. Because I don't, once again, it's tough because I don't also understand. I think it was a mistake when Xbox and PlayStation launched. Remember, they launched the same month. They launched a week apart.
Yep.
I don't understand why you do that. Like, why wouldn't you just wait?
You're hurting yourself.
Think about if Xbox or PlayStation had waited a year or 6 months. It's like, then people might be more willing, like, oh, a new console's coming out again. Like, I can get that one. But instead it was like, you could only afford one. 9 out of 10 people could only afford one at launch. You couldn't buy both.
And they knew which one was cheaper.
Like, you would be literally spending over $1,000 theoretically.
But the thing is then
for 2 consoles.
That's another reason
I'm
PlayStation
an Xbox
1.
faithful until I die. I mean, that's going to be the system I game on. Unless PlayStation does something for me, though. You know what I mean? I mean, everyone has their own opinions. A lot of people switched, though, this generation to that.
Yeah, well, and the reason why is a good thing Connor brought up is I guarantee you that week they're like, okay, Xbox and PlayStation are coming out. One's $400 and one's $500. Which one am I going to buy? They're the same thing. They're literally almost the same console. Which one? I'm going to buy the cheaper one. Like, even I would have done that. Even though I'm a Xbox fanboy, I would have done that.
That extra $100, though, you know what that was coming from? Is
the Kinect.
Yeah.
Which some people found, like, which Xbox did own, like, the family console between those two.
That's true.
In terms of...
Because, like, you could put that
innovation.
thing... The Xbox is still awesome the way it still runs.
Yeah.
Like, that thing will run... You guys don't use it, but that thing will run your entire console. Like, that thing will run you could throw in anything you want into the back of that console.
Put the HDMI for the PlayStation, right? And play...
You could put your HDMI in the back of your Xbox and play your PlayStation off your Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then that thing connects to DirecTV or Comcast, and it throws your guide up on your Xbox, and you could voice control it with your Kinect. You know what I mean? There's some cool features that are in that thing.
Dead now, but you can do it with like Alexa.
And granted, like
Cortana.
Of course, Sony's huge, but who would you rather trust, like Sony or Bill Gates? You know, Bill Gates owns. He's a billionaire.
I don't think that's a fair
Sony's
argument.
a big company.
Yeah, Sony's a big company, but I feel like I'd put my trust more in somebody that's.
I mean, but that's your opinion. I think those are completely different things.
But even you look at like something like the Sony hack, right? Sony had that hack.
But once again, yeah, it's Sony, but PlayStation is its own segment of Sony. Like,
granted, yeah.
PlayStation didn't have anything to do with that hack. Like,
but I mean, it's still their parent company.
Well, sure, but like
their owner had that happen.
Well, yeah, well, not necessarily.
Sony goes out of business.
You also forget though that
PlayStation
is 10 times bigger. Sony is 10 times bigger.
Sony. The only reason Sony's still in business was because of PlayStation during the hack.
Well, you got to remember, Japan,
you go to Japan,
Asia, like Xbox is nowhere in Asia.
Well, yeah,
like
it's
Xbox
American
is a
company.
U.S. company.
In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, the Xbox 360 wasn't even sold in Asian markets because it was like Microsoft knew we are an American company. They're not going to want to buy our stuff. They have PlayStation and Nintendo. So they didn't even sell their console there. I think the Xbox One was the first Microsoft console to be sold in the Asian market. So you have to remember that Sony is huge that way. I'm willing to bet that more people would trust Sony than Microsoft in terms of the world population, because there's just so many more people that own PlayStation than Microsoft.
Yeah.
Especially this generation.
Like, that's just
even
facts.
in America. Like,
yeah,
Xbox
even in
just
America.
got destroyed.
Yeah, they did.
No, recently, I think they're doing amazing stuff recently.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Especially
They're
with
easily the past year and a half.
Most trustworthy. I think they're the most trustworthy.
They've been awesome. Their exclusives sucked, but everything they've built around their console has been amazing.
Consumer-friendly.
Yeah.
Totally.
With Xbox Game Pass, crossplay,
backwards compatibility.
oh my gosh, the adaptive controller. Like, they've done some really cool stuff.
Yeah, they've been putting.
They're all
it's
for
funny
the community.
They've become what they
weren't at
the beginning. They've become the consumer friendly. Yeah, they've gone back on everything, and they're like, we are putting everyone else first. We understand that we were trying to turn and here's the truth. Xbox was trying to be something that it wasn't. It was trying to be an entertainment center. Mm-hmm. It was trying to be
just a game system.
Your movie place, your
social media
internet place, social media.
Sky. That's why it was called the Xbox One.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything in one.
People forget that it was like the Xbox One. Like, I remember hearing the name at first and like, that is the dumbest effing name. But the idea behind it was cool. It was like, oh, okay, I get that. It's like everything is in one place.
The one console.
But it was such a garbage.
It was a poor
message.
It was a poor conference.
Yeah,
because their conference was the reason.
The conference was horrible.
They didn't
it was
anything.
Hey, guess
it
what?
was sports.
You love NFL, right?
You like the NFL? You could watch it on your Xbox
It was like this.
One.
It was like, you love the NFL, right? Me and Hasten. Yeah. Everyone else in the audience. What's the NFL? It was like
that's not your target
audience. And then
exactly.
literally, and then they're like, for 10 seconds, like, oh yeah, there's games coming too. Here's the games. That's it. Anyway, back to everything else.
Back to Comcast.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you?
It's like, where's your game?
It's like,
you're a game system.
I don't think they announced one exclusive game.
Rise.
They might have done Rise.
I think Rise.
Maybe. I think Rise was E3 though, like a month later. Remember?
That could have been. Yeah.
Like, I honestly think their main reveal event was, hey, look, here's all of the cool stuff. And then look at the pores of Call of Duty Ghost. It's like, oh my gosh, okay.
The pores
okay,
of the dog. You can see the dog's anus.
Yeah, you can see it. It's so clear. And then you can see the man's hairs growing on his fingers.
Yeah.
And the boner growing inside of his pants.
It's like, whoa!
Granted, though, Xbox is notorious for that. I mean, when they announced the Xbox One X, that's all they talked about.
Well, that's what it was for.
That's what it was.
It was power. It was literally just a graphics increase.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
they didn't add. What else did they add with that?
I mean, nothing. It was a computer.
Yeah.
It was a. Like,
that's why they were showing that stuff. They're comparing it to a gaming computer.
Yeah.
We've kind of morphed into another topic, but I'm really into it right now. So I kind of want to throw another question.
I mean, we're kind of done with free to play anyway.
Yeah,
we've kind of milked
because
it
one
dry.
thing I was curious about is since we're talking about it, there was these rumors, and they're really like grain of salt rumors. Like, we're talking, these are not from legit people, from what I understand, but there are rumors circulating that the PlayStation 5, and this sounds crazy because this could have a major effect on Xbox if it is true. There's rumors that the next PlayStation 5 could be backwards compatible with every PlayStation ever. So meaning if you have a PlayStation 1 game, you can play it on the PlayStation 5, and you can go onto the PlayStation Store and download any PlayStation
Granted,
game.
though,
I think Xbox could do that.
But I think they could too.
But
I think they could
Xbox already has that.
Well, they're building toward that. You can't download any Xbox game.
But
right
a
majority. But even then, I wouldn't even say majority. I'd say it's like
realistically,
2/3.
I feel like Xbox
Or
One could flip a switch and you could play 360 on Xbox.
Well,
Yeah,
they kind of already did.
That's technically what they said. They're like, developer gives permission.
Me and Connor, we should have waited to talk about it on the podcast. We were talking about the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And how literally in an update, they were like, ooh,
It was crazy.
let's put an Xbox 360
inside the
Xbox One. Because when you play a 360
last
game,
year they're
it
like,
literally
let's-
boots up the 360.
And then last year they're like, let's put an
Xbox.
Xbox.
The
inside
original.
Xbox.
Like, they literally put a console in our console without even taking
Without
it
even
from us.
having to touch our console, which
Yeah.
is nuts.
That's
like,
crazy.
is a nuts thing to do.
Xbox knows how to do
So that's why I'm hoping the Xbox Scarlet, they're like, guess what? The disc reader can read any Xbox.
That's what we were...
I feel like there's a good chance that there's not a disc reader in the next consoles.
Well,
You're thinking it's going to be all
the
digital?
I think the rumor is that there's going to be two consoles from Microsoft anyway. We don't know about
One
Sony
without
yet,
a disc drive.
but one with a disc drive and one without, and the one without is cheaper.
Yeah,
that's what That's what I've heard.
But the thing is, I don't know if that'll happen because I'm imagining
there's people like me, like all of us. I think all of us like digital copies.
Yeah.
I think you like.
I like physical.
No, he likes physical.
Oh, physical. That's what I meant. Okay. I like physical more. I think you're closer to digital.
I'd probably prefer a physical, but yeah, of course, I like digital.
I'm physical more than digital. But I there is certain circumstances where digital is really nice.
I mean, one of my favorite games of all time, freaking Destiny 2, I don't even own physically. That's the show. Like, I prefer physical.
Doesn't that scare you?
It does. It does.
Because in fact, there was also another piece of news I wanted to talk about. That Ultraviolet. Do you guys know Ultraviolet? The digital movie code thing that it's been around for like 10 years.
I own a few movies on that.
Yeah, they were one of the first digital movie things, like before Movies Anywhere, before Vudu. Like they were one of the biggest ones that originally started it all. Ultraviolet. Yeah. Like if you got Blu-ray, most of your Blu-rays came with an Ultraviolet code. They just announced a couple days ago, or a couple weeks ago at this point when you're listening to this, that they're going out of business. And that if you have an Ultraviolet account with your Ultraviolet movies on there, they're gone. Like, in the summer of this year, when they shut down, they're gone. So right now, they're working on, and they did this through email, they're letting you know, like, you can transfer those movies to your Vudu account, but if you don't do that, your movies will be gone. Like, you won't
I was gonna say they have to do that. I don't think it would be legal.
Oh, no, yeah, that's why they partnered up with Vudu to do that. But there's going to be people... I barely saw the email. It was in like my junk folder or my promotions folder. Like I was lucky to see it.
I think if that ever happened with Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo, they would. It would be... We're partnering up with GameStop. You go to GameStop.
But think about that. There's people, though, that are like... gonna not see that email. Summer's gonna come. They had 100 movies in there.
But I doubt they're
gonna be like, what the frick?
I doubt they're gonna do it by email.
No, that's how they sent out.
Digital's scary.
It is scary.
Especially with like Xbox and PlayStation being able to ban your account. If they ban your account, you lose your games.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well,
point
and I agree, but then if you're talking shiz online to some guy in Fortnite saying "You suck, you loser," you can't play. You're gonna get banned. You can't play that game anymore, and all the games you bought are gone.
Yeah, I agree. It is scary because, like, even you can think about a game like Destiny. Like, you spend $500, $600 in that game, buying all the microtransactions, buying collector's editions. It's an online game. It goes offline. You can't even play it. Like, that is money down the drain. Like, that game doesn't exist anymore. Like, you literally cannot play Destiny if the servers go gone. Like, if the servers are gone, you're done. Like, the thing is with Halo 3, they just shut off the servers, but it's still got a campaign, it's still got Forge, you still got stuff to do. You can still play it locally. Multiplayer. Yeah, but those kind of always online games, you literally can't play. Titanfall, Fortnite, Destiny, like, what are they going to do with
it is crazy. Like, Titanfall, the original Titanfall, probably within the next couple years, I imagine, that game will be unplayable. Because one day EA is going to be like, nobody's playing this game anymore. Let's turn off the servers. And once those servers are off,
because it costs money.
Titanfall is an unplayable game. Like that game, you will never be able to play again.
Well, like think about it. It costs a lot of money to keep a servers running. Why do it pointlessly if nobody's playing?
Exactly. Like I'm sure there's enough people to warrant Titanfall being online still. But one day, give it 5 years, it's not going to be anymore. Like there's no reason to keep on those servers. Like I remember it was a big deal when I think it was Halo 3 servers.
It was Halo 3, yeah.
And there was people staying on.
They wouldn't get off.
And they stayed on for like weeks after the servers were off and they just didn't turn off their console. And then one day the guy who was on the longest, his console turned off when he wasn't home. And he had a power outage or something. And he was so sad because he was the last person on the servers and it was gone. Like after that, the servers were closed forever. You know, it's like that's a pretty crazy thing to think about.
That'd be so depressing to be playing solo and you're the only person on the whole server.
Like, oh. How did it even load in the map?
I didn't know. That's what I was wondering.
He might have gone into a private...
He just sat in the searching menu.
Probably.
Well, no, he probably went into a private lobby. Maybe. So it kept the servers up, but he was alone.
Yeah. That's just a crazy thing to think about.
It is.
With the flip of a switch, those can be gone. We were just talking about Guitar Hero Live a couple days ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Another piece of news where they announced if you've bought the game in the last couple years, if you've bought Guitar Hero Live in the last couple years...
Go get a refund.
Get a refund because they just put out an announcement that if you... had bought it from like 2016 to now, you can get a full refund of the game because like more than half the library on that game.
Where do you even go to do your refund?
I don't know. Probably
GameStop?
Through Activision, I think, who owns it. Okay. And so, I mean, if you bought it through GameStop, no, I think it's all through Activision. But yeah, more than half the library of those songs I think are online only. So that game will not have like hardly any songs to play. Like most of the songs from that game will just be gone. You won't be able to play tons of the songs from that game because they're just shutting off the servers. Yeah. So it's like that's nuts. That game's basically useless. It's like you get a few songs.
It's really sad to think that some of our favorite games coming in the future you won't even be able to play. It won't be where you're gonna be like, son, sit down. Let me show you the game I used to play. It'd be like, sit down. Let me show you some videos of me playing a game that I used to be able to play. But I can't anymore. It's gone.
This used to be my favorite game, Destiny.
I can't play it anymore.
It's gone now. I can't show you it, but here's some videos.
I mean,
here's a video of me no-scoping that dude.
Yeah. So like,
Grandma, this isn't you. Yeah, you're right. This is Ninja.
This is Ninja. I just said it to you. No, but like, when we were kids, right?
Ninja doesn't play Destiny. But, just to be clear.
He has.
Okay.
But like with me and Connor, when we grew up on Super Mario Bros. Super Mario World, Mario 64. Mario 64 was current at the time, but like all those old games that my dad used to grow up with.
You're still playing.
That he used to be like, hey, let me come show you the games I used to play. We won't be able to do that. Like with a lot of the games.
I mean, there's still ones.
Yeah, there's going to be ones, but there's going to be a lot of those games that we
can't
let those kids play. We can't let our generations play, which is really sad. And I was hoping, me and Connor were talking about it, that when a game like that goes offline, they could make, like an always online game, make a private server that always runs. It's like not even a server. It's just like now the game is local. You can play Fortnite. And if you have like 4 or 5 friends, you can all drop in the island and meet in the middle.
Would that be?
But like, but you'd still be able to play.
But at least you'd be able to play it. So.
Yeah. Like, and imagine how fun that'd be. You loot up as much as you can. You all meet at Dusty Divot, and victory. Like, it'd still be fun.
That would be. I mean, yeah. If you had like 5 people, and it's like the circle's enclosing, so it's like you
still have to move in. Yeah.
It would be like the last circle. Things would get crazy.
And I mean, even like
getting eliminated on drop, and everyone's just going instantly.
You're like, I mean, sit here for an hour now.
Even like Destiny. It's got complete campaigns. It's got all these non-multiplayer modes. Keep those. You can shut down the Crucible and you can shut down the multiplayer modes. But like those things that you can play solo, let you play solo.
I do wish I could like peep into the future somehow. Like 10 years from now, it's like, will Apex Legends even be playable?
10 years?
Will that game even exist in 10 years?
Yeah. New Apex Legends 4.
Yeah, if they do sequel. That's the thing is like, what, 2019 right now, 2030, let's say. Is Fortnite even a thing?
No.
Is Fortnite even playable? Like, because if you're talking servers and what's popular, games just shut down like that nowadays. Like, there's games that used to be huge. Like, Halo 3 online was everything. Like, that's what everyone played,
That was the Fortnite.
Now it's just gone. It's just nobody plays that game anymore. It's old news. One day, I think that could be Fortnite. It's like,
and of course there is always the possibility of them remastering it, bringing it back, but that's just, I don't know.
But it's not fully the same,
and it's not the same, and it does scare me. Like that is one thing that I really hope that those ongoing game companies are thinking about and they're working on. So hopefully when the server shut down, they can just flip a switch and like, oh, now I can play it local.
Yeah. Well, do we want to move on to our deathmatch segment?
Yeah.
Should we move on to Disney versus Nintendo?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. So, for our deathmatch segment today, we're discussing Disney versus Nintendo. Are you going to be long?
No. 2 seconds.
Okay. So, we're going to be discussing Disney versus Nintendo. We're going to be outweighing pros, cons, personal preference, personal history with those companies, what we've enjoyed from them, and what we'd lose from history if they were wiped. It's really scary to think about, especially with these two.
It's kind of weird for us. I was going to say this earlier, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. So Nintendo, for me, wasn't something I grew up on. Because I grew up on Xbox.
Yeah.
I started with I guess I had GameCube. Mm-hmm. So that would be gone. But I really started with the 360 back in 2006 when I was like 7 or 8. Mm-hmm. But you guys started with what, the 64?
Yeah, 64 was the first thing. The Mario 64, to my knowledge, was the first game I ever played. And so I grew up with the Nintendo 64 and then shifted into GameCube. I'd say this N64 and the GameCube combined were like my childhood of gaming, like growing up. Those two were what I played for the longest time. And then that went to the Wii eventually. And I was more cognizant of the Wii when that happened, and then it shifted into the 360, and whatnot. And then we eventually got PS3s, and then we got huge into gaming that way. But this is a big one because both have had a huge impact on history in terms of their respective mediums. Disney's had a huge impact on the film industry and also culture in general.
Entertainment
in general. Like, they are a global brand in terms of theme parks,
movies,
merchandise, anything, you name it, there's Disney of it. Nintendo...
even just like looking around the room, like even a hat that I was
Disney.
I always wear. Yeah, like, you got
Disney.
Disney.
But then you can look around the Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is,
Disney.
I'm gonna look it. I'm gonna look it
Disney.
up to be exact. But one of the crazy things to think about is Nintendo is way older than Disney.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo. So Nintendo was first founded in.
It was a toy store, right? Or
It was a
card game?
toy company in 1889.
God.
So September 23rd,
That's crazy.
1889, they were a toy company in Japan or something like that.
Freaking cowboys.
Yeah, they literally made like toys and stuff like that all the way until, the late 70s, 80s came along when they started making
Video games.
Nintendo.
I mean, they were the first, some of the first ones.
Yeah, I mean, there was
Atari
and
and,
like computer games and whatnot. But
No,
yeah,
Disney's not young either, though. When were they?
Oh yeah, Disney. Let's see. So
It was
1889
early 1900s.
It was probably like 1920s.
Because it was Walt Disney.
Disney founded.
Which is crazy that Walt Disney, that Disney's that young, even though it's not that young.
1923 was when the Walt Disney
That's
Company was
old.
founded.
That's a long time ago.
So
too.
we're talking about a
got
30-year
30-year
difference,
difference.
though. I mean, 30 years is still
A long
quite a bit of
time,
time.
yeah.
So
It's a lifetime.
yeah, Nintendo does have a longer history, which is crazy. But Nintendo, I think, without question, or Disney, without question, has
A bigger impact.
the bigger impact of the industries for sure.
And I think it's
right?
because it's more globally accepted because it's not just video
it's not game.
Well, and it's the franchises that they own are insane. too.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Especially nowadays. Like,
I mean,
you look
just-
at it, they
oh
own
my
two of
gosh.
the biggest franchises.
Just to give you an
Ever.
idea, Marvel, Star Wars, ESPN, The Muppets, Pixar,
Indiana Jones, Mickey Mouse.
Indiana Jones, Mickey, all of the Mickey products. It's like multiple theme parks, 2 in the United States alone that are massive. Probably the biggest theme park of all time. Like, what's even bigger than Disneyland?
Disney World.
I mean, yeah. Besides Disney
What's bigger
World,
than that?
Disneyland.
Disney World Paris.
Yeah, Disney World Global, the Extravaganza Universal.
Disney's gonna buy the moon and call it Disney the Moon.
Disney Moon. Yeah. But this one's really tough for me. Honestly,
I wouldn't even know.
no. Both of these have had such a huge impact on my life in terms of just growing up with them, and also they're super important to me now. I love both these companies.
I think before we discuss, I want to go from a beginning, just immediate. What's your first thought before we discuss and figure it out?
What would you think? Thanos snapped Nintendo away from me in my life. That's the thing. The only way Nintendo's really affected me is since this Wii U, I guess. The Wii U. So, nothing before that, I didn't really play. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So,
you
Yeah,
have
granted
played,
though you had a
I have played, but it's
granted-
not like I was like...
You've had a history.
but you had a DS.
Sure,
Yeah,
I didn't play
Game
a lot on
Boy,
the DS, though. You know what I mean?
GameCube.
I had the PSP. When I had handhelds, I had the PS. I had broke my DS, and I just bought a PSP.
That's
And I
crazy.
made money to make a PSP.
See,
And
never
then
even
from
had a
there,
history.
the only handheld I had owned since my PSP was the Switch now.
Yeah.
So really, Disney is by far, I don't even know what I would think without, the Marvel movies.
I mean, how would life be? You didn't grow up on all
yeah.
those kids. The kids.
I
Disney
watched
movies.
Lion King was my favorite movie growing
Yeah,
up.
I know. See, me too.
So Lion King being gone would be what the frick did I watch?
So for you, immediate,
I like this question, turns out.
immediate right now.
Well, what's the first thing that pops into your head when you think, or what's your earliest memory? How about that? What's your earliest memory with Nintendo and Disney? We'll start with Tanner.
So earliest memory of my life is with a Nintendo.
Wow.
My earliest memory of my life is playing with Connor on Mario 64. I still remember I had a little from the movie The Dinosaurs. The real life creepy dinosaurs.
The Disney
I
one.
had the little
Which was Disney.
Disney
Oh.
frick. I had that on my hand. And yeah,
right.
Dang!
I had its little head on my hand and we're
Wait, so Tanner's earliest memory
Of
was
both
Disney,
Disney and Nintendo.
at the same moment.
yeah.
That's crazy.
But remembering Connor watching him play Mario 64, and I think if I remember right, he was riding the turtle shell around in the first world. You jump on the turtle and you ride him around, and I don't know, but my immediate thought of one to get rid of. Of course, I would change because I'm just saying what first popped into my head would have to be Nintendo.
Yeah.
As much as I love Nintendo, I
It
don't
sucks
know.
to say,
I
dude.
don't know if I could
know.
get rid of Disney.
I know. And the thing is, ultimately, and I want to discuss it more before.
Oh,
we
of course,
finally decide,
of course.
but I'm with you where my mindset is right now because it's such a hard decision, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you gotta go.
That's crazy.
Gotta keep Disney.
Because my earliest memory, not memory like generally memory.
Yeah.
Because my first earliest
With
memory
these
is us going to the dinosaur park.
Oh my gosh,
together.
yeah. I totally remember that too.
But I think my earliest memory of like either one of these companies is watching The Lion King. I mean, I kid you, that was before I was born.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, my parents had to buy like 3 copies of The Lion King because I wore it out.
Same. Yeah.
Watching the same
Burning the disc.
Yeah, burning the
VHS. It was a VHS even.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It's like I think
Or I would just rip the whole thing now. I was like, "Ooh, this is cool, mom.
This is cool." Yeah. I know,
Undoing
dude, it's so crazy that like VHS is like
It's not even a thing.
you had to rewind them and like. I'm glad we at least grew up with that because nobody
Remember
even
how weird?
understands what that is.
And then after you'd finish the movie, it'd do like that blue screen where it's like stop.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to rewind it. It'd be like, play.
Yeah, that's true.
Weird.
Spoiler alert."
Yeah, one of my earliest Disney memory from I remember the same with Hastings. It's Lion King. I remember watching Lion King on loop, like constantly. Lion King and Aladdin, and then
I think when was The Little Mermaid out? That might have been
a few years before it, so it was probably around the same time. You probably watched them at the same time. I met me too. Like it was all those. It was the Renaissance Disney age of the '90s. Like all those Disney movies, I watched on loop as a child.
Yeah,
like constantly. And so. And then my earliest Nintendo one was playing Mario 64. Like, and yeah, Tanner next to me while I just sat there and literally played Mario 64 forever. I literally think my days, this is how I imagine my days consisted as a little tiny kid.
Disney and
without school.
With no school and when nothing else mattered. Is I'd literally sit there, play Mario 64 for hours until my brain melted, and then turn on Lion King and watch it 4 times in a row.
and then fall asleep, wake up,
fall asleep,
play Mario.
Exactly. Poop my pants and then watch Aladdin.
For real.
And like, that's literally what like really, that's what my life was.
Like no lie.
Yeah, nothing else. And then so it was like Disney and Nintendo dominated my childhood, and so that's what makes it so difficult to decide.
Oh my gosh.
But I totally.
It's like killing one of your children.
Yeah, it's like kill your darling. Which one? But at the end of the day, it's like Disney has Disneyland, and Disneyland is the happiest place on earth.
You guys, you went there every year.
We go there like every year almost. Like we haven't been for a couple years.
But as growing up, like in our family, you guys went every year. Like there's weeks where you guys just be like, "Oh, where'd the halls go?"
Oh, we went to
Disneyland. Oh, they were Disneyland.
Yeah, for real. Like Disneyland is the happiest place on earth. Like really, and it's like the second. Or like it's one of the homes away from home, which is so stupid. Like I mean, obviously there's way more important ones, but like
It is though.
Yeah,
like, it's where you go to forget everything else. Like it's our drug per se. Like you go there and
drug.
Yeah, but like you go there and you forget about everything. Like every single time I've gone, I've never once thought about the outside world where I'm like, oh, I got school. Like you don't even think about it. Like you're just at Disneyland. You're there.
You're going to go on these rides and these shops that are awesome.
Yeah,
amazing
tons
food.
of money.
Oh yeah,
money.
But you got all this amazing food and the characters and the fantasy and it's magical.
It's magic. Like really.
It's literally magical.
Honestly, if I had to choose one word to describe both these companies, honestly, it would be magic. I think Nintendo and Disney both represent in their respective mediums the word magic. I think if in terms of the video game industry, I don't think there's a question on which company is the most magic and family and happy and like colorful. I think Nintendo's number one for sure. Like there's no question in my mind. And then I think Disney is the same when it comes to film and movies and culture
and entertainment.
And entertainment. Yeah, it's like both of them represent that quality the most out of all the other competitors. You know, like that's what they entail at the end of the day is magic. And that's what makes this question so freaking hard.
Oh my gosh, it literally is like killing one of your children because we literally that's what raised us. Because it's what raised us.
We're gonna have to pick one at the end. You guys have to pick one.
A better example is it's like killing one of your parents because they literally raised us besides our parents. Like
Nintendo raised me, not my parents.
Our second parents was Nintendo and Disney. Like that's what we grew up on. Like
our parents to get away from us just put us in front of a screen.
Exactly.
To watch this stuff.
No, but like memories of before we'd go to bed. Me and Connor would watch like Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day.
Oh my gosh, Winnie the Pooh, dude! So many
scary Pooh or Pooh Scares or something. The scary one. Like I remember those so vividly. And like Not only Winnie the Pooh, but even the princess movies. Like, even though we're boys,
Oh
like,
yeah, no, freaking
Cinderella, Snow White.
I freaking loved Sleeping Beauty and freaking Little Mermaid.
And Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast,
gosh.
freaking amazing.
You got Disney Channel too.
Disney
How
Channel.
much Disney
Channel.
Channel.
Oh my
did you
gosh.
guys
Yeah, we
watch?
didn't even
Not
talk
even
about
thinking
that.
about that.
Sweet Life.
Hannah Montana.
Of Zack and Cody
like,
and On Deck.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Wizards of Waverly Place. Freaking wait, what was the other one?
There's so many.
Yeah, there's tons.
That's so Raven.
That's already Corey in the House.
Corey House was in there.
Yeah.
The cartoon ones. We didn't not even talk
Pair
about
of
the cartoons.
Kings.
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and
Oh
Ferb.
my
Pair of
gosh.
Kings. Oh my god.
Disney Channel itself, like I can't imagine how many hours it just had freaking Disney Channel on.
Fish hooks even.
We watched it earlier today.
Yeah,
You're watching. It's gone so downhill.
now, but yeah.
Poor kids can't have a terrible childhood.
And I honestly, that's another question for another day. But I honestly do. You posed the question of like, we were like, man, Disney Channel sucks now, and then you were kind of like, well, it probably sucked when we were watching it too. We just didn't.
I
know.
wonder if it
Like,
was.
I do wonder
But
that.
was it?
Like,
But
that's
no,
a
I
good
still
question.
go like. This isn't Disney, but like Nickelodeon has Drake and Josh.
It's
And that's
genuinely
still
funny.
good,
Still
so
fun.
It's a
So
funny
good.
Oh
show.
yeah, like I could watch that as an adult and find everything.
But that's a question: is are we blinded by nostalgia? Is nostalgia playing the role in that? Because that's also another question.
no,
is-
because our little brother is 12.
Yeah, he
and
likes
he
it too.
watched it after it had stopped, and he
True,
loved
but
it.
he's also family. He also has our same sense of humor, you know.
Yeah, but
So
he
it's
started
like-
watching it without us. We didn't like get him into that.
Yeah,
You know.
it's tough to say because that is a question I'm interested in. Is like, are the things we grew up with? Are we also just kind of blinded with nostalgia? Because nostalgia is such a powerful thing. I love nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know, I love looking back at things I loved and are still a part of my life.
I mean, like that Bailey's ice cream. Is it actually good, or is it actually like
It's just
trash?
nostalgia.
But it's just nostalgia.
It
It's so
just
good.
reminds us of.
If we ate trash as kids, is it like, oh, it's so good?
It's like smelling a churro in Disneyland or something
Oh,
like that. It's like that instantly brings you back, or like, oh, I'm in Disneyland, you know?
Yeah.
I freaking love Disney, dude.
Dude, just thinking about the smell of a churro.
Disney.
The nice
Disney.
warm churro, dude. Like,
Nintendo Disney.
what the frick? That'd be a
Magic.
Childhood.
magic.
Yeah.
My life's over.
And that's the thing.
I'm
though, is
I'm Tanner and welcome back to Disney Channel.
oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's another thing too. Is like growing up, I always wanted to be one of those kids. Like I always wanted.
How
to,
I would do it.
I'm
Well, those-
Connor Hall.
they-
Welcome to Disney Channel.
You guys remember like
They
on
all
the
did something else at the end. Remember where they're like, "That's great," and I'd be like, "Woo!"
No, I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but on the radio, like it would advertise, be like, "You want to become a Disney Channel star?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Come down to Salt Lake City."
Yeah.
And our vans are going around, and they've been around to different cities, and you
And
have
I
your
remember I would
chance.
like tell my mom, be like, "Mom, I want to go audition for this." Like,
Me too.
thing."
Yeah.
It's-
I always thought it'd be the coolest thing to be on Disney Channel. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Just be like be on Disney Channel. And
I'd
then-
create roles for myself. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'd be the love interest of this girl.
I'd be the cool guy that's like, hey, you're watching Disney Channel. Du, 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 du.
You be Jason Stewart.
I'd be Mitchell Musso. No, I'm just kidding.
DUIs, dude.
What's up, guys? Yeah, DUIs.
Welcome to Disney Channel.
Welcome to. Well, no, just kidding.
We're going to
I'm out.
DRUG. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry.
Welcome to what? Where are we?
Okay, what the
We're
freak?
not talking about it anymore. I love Mitchell Musso. Okay. Disney.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to pass it up. It's hard to get rid of it because not only just movies but entertainment in general.
Yeah. What are you guys looking at?
I was just looking at how long we're running.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, so yeah, it's such a tough decision. I think both of them. Let's talk about impact now. Do both of them have the same
Oh,
relevance
now
to
for
you?
me, it's not. Well, it's close.
It's probably close.
It's closer for
It's
you.
closer because like I love Smash Bros. The Switch is an
The
awesome
Switch
console,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Disney. Yeah.
you know,
for-
they own so much stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Marvel.
There's
Star
more.
Wars.
If you delete Marvel right now, you don't get to see what happens at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah,
that's
Endgame.
You
so
delete
big.
Star Wars, you have no
You don't
idea
have
what
episode
happens
9.
with that.
What happens there?
Oh, that's another thing is posing the question of if they were wiped from history. Think of a world where there is no Disneyland or no Walt Disney. Like that is such a
gosh.
crazy
That's
world.
No,
depressing.
dude,
There'd be,
Mickey Mouse-
There'd be a Nickelodeon land or a
No,
Nintendo land.
dude, think about
Nickelodeon
it.
land.
Think
There is gonna
about
be Nintendo land,
Mickey
too.
Mouse's face, his ears.
Yeah,
It is everywhere.
it's so.
Everywhere. That is gone. We have literally
iconic.
There's a blanket upstairs. There's a pillow right there. There's socks in my drawer. There's a hat that it's everywhere. You can't go without seeing Mickey in a day. Like I'm pretty sure it's almost impossible.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, especially when you're even near Disneyland.
Mickey's everywhere. Oh my gosh,
it's Mickey. Yeah.
He's like haunting your dreams.
Yeah.
No, I totally know what you mean though. Like, it is hard to go.
The whip tonight. Get the whip, baby.
It is hard to go a day though without like seeing something Disney.
Yeah.
Like if you pull up ESPN, you are seeing Disney in a way.
Yeah. I challenge you to try to go a day without seeing something Disney. Marvel, Star Wars, ESPN, Disneyland.
I have to go like this all day long.
You literally have to be like...
And it is hard to imagine, like, wipe away all of Disney's history. Let's pretend Nintendo survives. Disney's gone. So gaming will stay mostly the same, right? I think gaming... Disney doesn't have a huge impact in games, I would say.
I mean, what? Epic Mickey...
I mean, they had a bigger impact when they had LucasArts. Or they didn't own LucasArts. Cause
not
Disney
at the time,
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts wouldn't be...
Kingdom Hearts, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it might even still be a thing just without the Disney characters.
And honestly, it's like now that EA owns the Disney license for Star Wars games, it's like I wouldn't really care if that didn't exist, whatever. Yeah, honestly, game-wise, I think the game industry wouldn't change that much if Disney was gone.
But the biggest loss would be Disney Infinity, which is like, okay.
Yeah, or like the Disney, or like Aladdin on the SNES, like stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think those were that important.
No, they didn't impact people enough, I don't think.
I mean, I think if you erase them from history, I don't think too many things would change in terms of the game industry. Now, if you go to the movie side of it,
oh my gosh,
it would be literally cinema would not be the same.
It wouldn't.
Like film would not be the same if Disney didn't exist.
No, they've made so many movies that are just insane.
It's not even just movies, but strides in the industry and
and also cartoons. Like animated movies would not be the thing.
It was Disney's thing. Like
Disney
they were the first color.
They still kind of are.
Movie.
Yeah, Snow White or
first colored animated movie.
Yeah. And what was that?
They still kind of are, like, as far as animated goes. Like, they really are
top notch.
Owning the
Pixar,
space.
it's like, I mean, who really else is on the same level? I mean, there's other ones that are
Illumination.
Good.
No, but who's on the same level?
DreamWorks. Yeah, none of them are Pixar. You know, it's like Pixar's.
I mean,
the best.
None of them have a movie that's
Disney
nominated as Best Picture, like Toy Story 3. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you think the Grinch is the new Illumination Grinch is gonna?
Grinch is up for Best Picture.
Gosh, this is the loudest snow ever.
Or like the Disney.
This is the loudest snow ever.
Or like the Disney animation movies, like Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, Princess and the Frog, Tangled. Like, come on. So you have both of those animated wise, and then now we even get to a harder time because all the new Star Wars, all the new Marvel, gone. You know, that's crazy. That's nuts to think about. And then I think the biggest thing, maybe not the biggest, but no Disneyland.
I would say almost the biggest.
Well, the thing is though, I wouldn't, because you wouldn't have the parks if there wasn't the movies.
I'd say their movie space is their biggest,
by far.
And
then the parks.
Yeah, the parks.
Then the parks.
Because the parks literally couldn't exist without the movies.
That's true.
Because literally all the rides are.
The movies couldn't exist without the park.
I mean,
Pirates of the Caribbean wouldn't be a thing because the movies were made from the ride.
Well, no, Pirates of the Caribbean would be a thing
without the park.
It's just pirates.
It's just pirates.
No, I know, but they made the movie from the ride.
Yes, I don't know what you're saying.
They did?
If there was no park, there would be no Pirates of the Caribbean.
What?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, there wouldn't. No.
If there was no Disneyland, there would be no Pirates of the Caribbean. Like if we kept Disney,
sure.
we got
okay, sure, yeah. Okay, but either way, I think their movies is the biggest impact. Yeah. And then game-wise, if we look at Nintendo, let's erase Nintendo from history.
Mario.
The gaming industry is completely different.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, a lot of games are inspired by... One of the greatest games of all time, and considered one of the most important games of all time, is the original Super Mario Bros. And Mario himself is gaming's biggest icon. There's no one bigger than him.
And not just... I don't even think... Nintendo popularized video games. Video games weren't a thing before
I think they made them cool.
Well, no, like, think
maybe
about
not
it.
popularized, but made them cool.
I think so. Like, was Pong was a big thing. No. It was like...
I mean, it was. Pong was huge.
Pong was like the equivalent of right now playing water polo. Like, it's not a big thing. But they made it into football. They made it into soccer. They made it the big thing. They were like, oh,
Well,
video
Nintendo
games
popularized
are
it. Nintendo made it more accessible for everyone.
They made the arcade. They made the
Well, they didn't
machines.
make all the arcades.
No,
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, the machines. They made the home consoles. They were the ones who popularized it. I think 100%. I think without them, it would have been a very different experience. I think the gaming industry would have changed just completely because it would never have come home.
I think it'd be a less fun industry too. Frankly, like I think
it'd be more corporate.
It'd be more corporate, and I also think it would be.
I don't
less
think there would be
colorful.
those creators that truly love developing their games. I
Yeah.
think it
Well,
would be a job. For
How
people.
long
I
do
think
you
so, too.
think it would have been till consoles came home?
Yeah,
They would have been in arcades a lot longer. It would have been just purely arcade gaming for the longest time until somebody was like,
I mean,
"Well,
there was
make
the
a home
Atari. That's the thing.
But
Sega.
Yeah, Sega
the-
came along a little
pretty sure
later.
the
Sega
Atari
wouldn't have gotten
console.
absolutely destroyed so quickly.
real.
Is it? Oh my gosh, that would be the future. Is instead if Nintendo was gone, it would
Sonic
be
would
Sega.
be-
It'd be
It'd
Sega. Sonic would be Mario.
Sonic would be the new Mario.
Dude,
Oh
that'd
my
be a cool
gosh.
movie.
Like what a crazy alternate world it would be if Sonic was the Mario of.
But do you think
games.
Sega would have even existed without Nintendo? Because I feel like Sega derived from the fact that.
And see, that's a question to ask too. It's like
Because it's
would-
like
would-
without Batman, would there be
here's
Joker?
the thing, you guys got to look this story up one day because I'm not going to do it justice. But PlayStation came from Nintendo. I don't know if you guys know this, but like, and I don't know
I wouldn't
exactly
be
how.
surprised. They're
But
both Japanese companies.
Yeah, Nintendo and PlayStation were the same company. They weren't called PlayStation, but apparently there was this whole thing. They had a falling out, a feud. Like Nintendo didn't want them to do this thing, and some Nintendo people left or whatever and started PlayStation, and that's how PlayStation
Boo.
became. That's how PlayStation became to be. And so it's like you can throw out the question or the possibility PlayStation wouldn't exist without Nintendo, which is nuts.
But that's not big of an impact.
Are you kidding me? That's a huge impact.
I mean, what has PlayStation done for the industry?
What are you talking about?
You
Terry?
are such a PlayStation
No, they
hater.
legit
Oh my
haven't.
God.
What have they done?
Are you kidding?
What have
That
they
is
done?
They have
insane.
absolutely
Tanner,
the
that is-
best exclusives of any console.
That is such an arrogant response.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
straight up. No, I think about it. Like,
Tanner.
no, because even Xbox didn't do anything.
You can't say that because you didn't grow. Just because you didn't grow up with PlayStation, you have to realize for some people the original PlayStation was their Nintendo.
Yeah,
You have to
Maybe.
be on board with that. Like period.
I don't think they did anything revolutionary for the industry.
Though. They did though. They invented freaking disc-based gaming. Nintendo was still doing cartridges when the first PlayStation came out. Nintendo was still doing the N64 cartridge.
Nah.
PlayStation literally.
Maybe they stole that from
The,
Nintendo.
the original PlayStation
didn't
was
know.
a disc, and then you know what else PlayStation did? The first PlayStation was the first console to allow you to watch movies with DVDs. You can play DVDs on the original PlayStation. First console to ever do that.
Okay,
think
right.
about how common that is now. Like you can't have a console without it playing movies unless you're Nintendo. Like,
That's kind of weird, yeah.
yeah,
Granted, that you have Netflix on,
but it's not the same thing. You
No, you
can't
don't.
watch disc. Like
Not right now.
Yeah, and you don't have Netflix on the
not on the
Switch.
Switch, but
And you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like you're joke. You're
Plus,
kidding
as far
yourself,
as
you know?
games
Okay.
if you go back and look at the Game of the Year award winners,
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Yeah.
Uncharted, Last
God
of
of
Us, God of War,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Okay, whatever.
Like
There's so many. You can go on
Infamous.
forever.
I think Infamous won a couple.
Well,
The Infamous first one I know did, and then the
not-
second one I know did.
and even if they didn't win Game of the Year, just in terms of impact, like
Mm-hmm.
they're huge.
but you're talking about games. If PlayStation wasn't there, then those games would have been made on Xbox.
no, they wouldn't.
They would have been made on
Not
Nintendo.
necessarily. No, because
because they're all by Sony.
Yeah, who funded
They're
them?
made by Sony.
Sony funded them.
Uncharted wasn't made by Sony though.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. It was
Uncharted
Sony.
was made by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, but Sony funded Naughty Dog to make that game.
But Xbox would.
Where would Naughty Dog have gotten that money?
Switch would have, or Nintendo would have.
No, not necessarily.
And they wouldn't
That's
have
not
had the
true.
same ideas.
Yeah, Nintendo literally just canceled Metroid Prime 4 because they didn't like the direction it was going in. Nintendo has a very specific vision. You think Nintendo would allow Mortal Kombat or like some of these ultra
Okay, but what about
games
Xbox?
to originally come like
Naughty
they
Dog
do-
comes
like,
to
fund them?
Naughty
to,
Dog comes to Xbox and they're like, we have the idea for a game called Uncharted. They'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
That's a big shot in the dark hope. What's stopping if Nintendo didn't exist? Why didn't Xbox just make Mario then? Like,
But that's different.
Bro, Nintendo guys could have come up.
No,
to
that's dumb.
Come up to Bill Gates and be like, "Hey, we have this idea for an Italian plumber."
Pretty sure Bill Gates
Like-
wasn't even alive in 1890.
Well,
they're a toy company.
Yeah, when Mario existed.
I know you Nintendo.
Pretend
Nintendo didn't exist. Xbox would have made.
Well, no, what I'm
Nintendo.
saying, that's what you're saying with PlayStation.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Pretend that Nintendo.
I'm talking
didn't
about
exist.
revolutionary.
You're telling me
Okay.
Xbox that like Miyamoto would have gone up to Bill Gates and been like, hey, I have this idea for an Italian plumber, and Bill Gates is like, yeah, let's make Mario.
I just
like,
think like as far as revolution, because I'm not defending Xbox even. Xbox hasn't even like as far as revolution, like we revolutionized the gaming industry. They didn't do anything different.
I think all three, the big three, have all revolutionized
in their own
gaming.
way. I think so too. I think that's without a question. And you know what?
But ultimately,
competition-
without Nintendo,
here's the
other
thing.
two don't exist.
Competition breeds excellence. If there wasn't this competition, we wouldn't be where we're at. Like, Xbox has to be better. You know why Xbox Game Pass exists? Is because Xbox lost this generation. Because they got screwed by PlayStation. Xbox Game Pass would not exist if they didn't screw up.
And
But
you know what
crossplay would not
Xbox
exist.
Game Pass is starting?
A
Game
revolution.
subscriptions.
A revolution.
Yeah, a revolution. Digital-only games.
And a Netflix-style game.
Yeah.
Xbox is starting that. Not PlayStation, not Nintendo, Xbox. They are revolutionizing that. Just like how Nintendo revolutionized handheld gaming, too. Like, that's another
And
thing
motion
we haven't talked about.
controlling.
Motion controlling. Like, some of these... PlayStation is actually doing VR, too. Nintendo and Xbox aren't.
The only people that are is like Oculus.
Yeah, it's
and
PC.
the PCs.
Yeah, so you got to give credit where credit is due. PlayStation
and
revolutionized
Xbox
its own
might exist without Nintendo. Because Xbox derives from PC, the Microsoft Store.
in America.
Yeah, in America. So it's not connected to Nintendo like Sony is.
Yeah, like PlayStation might not exist if Nintendo didn't exist. So that's another parallel universe we can take into account here. Is literally two of the big three.
You're getting rid of Nintendo. You're also getting PlayStation.
Yeah,
potentially.
theoretically. I mean, really, if you look up.
But the thing is,
story,
granted, I do think
Well,
without Nintendo, you don't have a PlayStation or Xbox. I don't think Xbox would have happened.
I think it might not
agree.
be called Xbox.
Yeah,
It might, because it's going to be on the PC. But I think they would have came up with this idea. You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah, I think if you got rid of Nintendo,
Kind of like if
would
you
get
got rid of
PlayStation
like YouTube, like there's still going to be.
there's something.
Yeah, but
something.
it's kind of
that's
hard.
that's such a basic thing with the internet.
Granted, though,
Something's
it's
gonna
hard to
something will take its
fathom.
place.
It's hard to fathom what would have happened.
Yeah.
Like, without Nintendo, none of them would have existed. Maybe they did.
Well,
For all we know, maybe PlayStation and Xbox did just fine
well, the
when
thing
they
is
came
too
out.
is you also have to think of how natural some things seem now. It's like, oh, how did nobody think of cell phones?
Of a cell phone.
It's like
It's like,
we probably could have had cell phones way before we did.
Until
yeah, because then
but
in
it's-
a thousand years,
but it
you'll be
wasn't-
like,
it
how
wasn't
did
until-
nobody
it wa-
think of
Yeah,
of
it
warp
wasn't.
speed?
It wasn't until people like did it and like were like, here it is. That's the thing is, it's like, yeah, Xbox probably eventually would come up with something. It might not be called Xbox, and it might not have this, and it might be 10 years later. It might be 2010 that they first made the first home console if it wasn't for Nintendo or something. Who knows? Like it would
technology
be,
could have been slowed down or something.
yeah, because they all played an impact in their own way. It's crazy to think about
Oh my gosh!
what could be.
And then even thinking about Disney, what would have happened without that? Who knows?
Oh
like,
yeah,
you
well,
can
film would be
think
totally
about
different.
The
Might be a lot more dark film too.
It might be much more targeted to adults too. Disney really catered to kids when
the
not a lot of people were.
especially with movies. Like as far as like TV shows, I'm sure there was still the cartoons. There was like the cat guy, but like as far as like movies,
What the frick are you talking about?
there's that black and white cat guy. I'll show you a picture. I don't know what he's called. Do you know what I mean? He was like.
Oh, you're talking about old cartoons. I didn't know what the frick you were talking about.
No.
for a second.
So like with cartoons, as far as like in the olden days,
Yeah,
there's much
yeah.
more TV shows,
Like Cuphead,
radio.
and
Yeah,
stuff that was
it wasn't movies. Disney was the ones that brought animation to movies, to the big screen, to the cinema. Because before, I'm sure that when people in
There
the
were
movie
shorts.
industry would think of cartoons, they'd be like, "That's not real. That's
well, they was
that's
more
kids
like
stuff."
shorts, yeah, and just like
It's not real. Now it's like some of the best-selling movies of the year.
Yeah, now it's some of the best pictures. Toy Story 3. You look at all these big time movies; they're animated.
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. So.
Spider-Man into the Spider. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
without Disney, I don't know if you have an animation industry where it's actually accepted as an actual medium. Where people are like, okay, that's actual film.
Yeah.
Like without them,
It is
animation
crazy.
wasn't
There's-
considered film.
I mean, and even nowadays, still there's people that are like, I won't see it because it's animated or whatever. Like which is nuts because like, Disney at least pushed that forward. Can you imagine like people? Yeah, you're totally right. People wouldn't respect animation.
They'd
if
be
they
like,
would
oh,
if it
that's not a
wasn't for
real
Disney.
form
They'd
of.
be like,
that's
animation-
not a real form
That's
of
for
film.
kids.
That's art. That's
yeah.
not film.
Or that's just kids stuff. Like,
Yeah.
But Disney proved it can be family friendly or for kids also and adults. It can be for both at the same time and
sure.
still be good.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing they've really proved. But, holy frick, that's a tough decision. So, where are we netting out, officially?
All right, so should we all give our final decision?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. I choose Disney.
At the end of the day, it freaking sucks. These are... I think, honestly,
this is the worst one.
That's why we started with this one. I don't think it can get any worse than this.
I don't.
Like, I think this is 100% the hardest.
Human race or extinction.
Which one?
I choose extinction.
It would have been better if we didn't exist.
Water or food? Yeah. No.
Water. I live longer if I just don't eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can do controversial ones. Judaism or Buddhism.
Well,
Everyone's like, no!
That would be crazy.
Abortion or no abortion?
Yeah, we can't go that far.
I don't see why not.
That's the thing is
It'd
like
be entertaining, especially with us.
That's what makes this so hard is out of all of them, these ones affected my childhood, like my upbringing.
Yeah.
More than I think any other question we're going to do will. And so, at the end of the day, I have to go with Disney. I have to keep Disney. Purely because they have had the greater cultural impact, period. Like, if you look at the history of the world and the history of cinema and theme parks and all that, like, Disney is
So without Nintendo, now you're watching way more Disney films as a child.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
What's the downfall of that, you know?
I might not play video games as much.
Yeah.
I might not be into video
Games wouldn't even be a thing at the time, though. Like, as far as home systems.
I mean, PlayStation, would be. I guess if
that was a lot later. That was like during. I'm talking like when you were born.
Well, when I was born,
without Nintendo,
PlayStation was out when I was born.
Yeah,
the original.
I think that because they derived from Nintendo, they probably wouldn't even have a home system at the time.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we're looking at it from the butterfly effect, what could be crazy world, then
Well, it could be. I mean, they have so much of an impact.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah,
the world could have ended.
I was thinking while we were talking, I was like, what did myself do as a child?
I know.
Well, you can't really know.
Because I didn't play video games till like 06. Because I always came over to your house and you guys were playing games, and I was like, what are these things?
Whoa.
You know?
You're touching this, and then they're moving.
I was like, what the frick did I do as a child? I must have been so bored.
I do want to talk about.
I didn't do anything.
What did people do before?
I do want to have a conversation about our childhoods as a topic, because I do wonder about that too. It's like,
what did we do?
Think about playing a game for the first time. You're holding this controller.
It's
like,
Madden
how did you figure it out?
Like,
you're like,
what
okay,
goes
if
through
I
your
press
brain?
A, he jumps. This is why Mario. Freaking Nintendo.
Dude, what goes through your brain when you're like,
Nintendo?
Hold on. Let's get Tanner his final.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
and then we'll come back.
Okay, yeah. I could lie and say Nintendo. I could lie and say, oh, I love video games, but it has to be Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too much. I can't imagine my life without Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine my life without Nintendo, but
I can't
less
imagine,
so.
Honestly, I can't imagine my life without either of them. But I'm with you. Like, Nintendo less so. I think Disney...
just slightly. It takes the edge just slightly, just because I think the ultimate thing that takes it over the edge for me is Disneyland.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would have been a much closer, but just Disneyland it takes the win for me, because Disneyland has been our home away from home, in a way.
Well, and also Disney's films have... Like, I want to make movies one day, like, professionally. That's what I want to do. I probably wouldn't want to do that if it wasn't for Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, Disney has been one of those main influences.
Liking kids is... I like liking kids.
Liking kids is awesome.
I like kids.
Oh, my God.
Jared...
It's a quote. That's what it is.
I think liking...
We're going to put that on Instagram. Tanner just a picture.
I like kids.
I like kids. Tanner Hall.
No, but
I like kids.
I think liking movies as kids would have been much different. I don't know if you would have been as into movies as kids without Disney.
Yeah.
I think
for sure.
I think as a child it would be, you don't start liking movies till you're older. Even 10. Like, getting to the age where you actually
appreciate movies the same way. That's one thing about...
Because cartoons appeal to the eye.
They're colorful. Yeah. The music is fun. The actions on screen are fun. Yeah, totally. I know exactly what you mean. Like... as a kid, you might not be interested in like the Green Mile, or stuff like. Yeah. You're not watching the Green Mile like.
Like watching Remember the Titans, like.
Yeah, you're not watching that movie like, oh, this is a good movie.
They're good point. They're appropriate, not racist.
Yeah, it's like as a kid though, you see just Lion King, and you see these colors and lions running, and animals talking
And
and
like,
singing,
and
and
like,
you're like,
can you? And you're like, yeah.
can you? And you're crying over Mufasa dying. Like if you cry,
Especially like the colors, like it just like pops to the eye. It's music to the ears. You know, it's like there's so much that goes into these Disney movies that you can't pass them up for me. Like I love video games, but I don't know. I don't. I wish I couldn't go with either.
Luckily, the good news is
Tara's
we
like,
don't.
Tara's like, can I
both.
just eliminate PlayStation?
Can I just pick eliminate PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm like, I could lie. I eliminate PlayStation. I don't care. Don't say anything.
It's like this is about Disney and Nintendo. I hate PlayStation. Okay. Yeah.
PlayStation can die. I don't care.
The good news is we don't have to get rid of either. We have both, which is amazing that we do. Another thing about this topic is it makes you appreciate that you have both these things.
I know.
And that you don't.
That you don't have
when
to
we go
part
through
with
and
one.
compare all these, it's like when we get to like Microsoft versus Apple, it's like, oh, which it's like, well,
But what if
I like both.
What
I
if
mean, I
somebody
get both, so.
in the future played this game and it came true? Because there was a company like Nintendo that was the first ones. They were called Pintendo. And they created a character named Gario. And then they deleted him from existence.
Wait, what are we talking about?
No, I'm saying, like, what if somebody in the future had played this game? And they're the reason something doesn't exist. That was a competitor.
Oh, they went back in time? Or like, I don't understand.
Because, like, what if because, like, we're talking about it, and we deleted Nintendo. Let's say they actually deleted it.
No.
Because, like,
I take it
somebody
back
in the
then.
future did that, but there was a competitor to Nintendo that was coming up at the same time, and they won. And then they created this.
I don't even know what that's
I don't
talking about anymore.
Huh.
Anyway, so it was unanimous. Disney lives on to see another day.
Disney
what would you-
versus Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
You don't have Drake and Josh
Cartoon
now.
Network.
I can't go without SpongeBob.
Some of these wouldn't even. We
Holy
could
cow,
do
that's a big one.
like we could do Disney Channel versus
Nickelodeon.
See, that would be tough.
Oh,
That would be tough.
Oh.
Drake and Josh, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's huge.
SpongeBob is huge, dude. That would be.
that
crazy.
was I was gonna say this. A reason.
SpongeBob alone, you could probably do SpongeBob
you-
versus all of Disney.
I almost 100% guarantee you can thank SpongeBob for our humor nowadays.
Yeah.
The reason we grew up so sarcastic and the jokes we have, and the kind of
SpongeBob did it.
it's because of SpongeBob. No, I'm straight up like
Yeah.
watch SpongeBob. They make it's the humor that we like.
The humor is very synonymous with our generation. I feel like.
And I feel like SpongeBob has played it a lot.
Is synonymous the right word?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But they've played a lot into that. Like they're the reason. It's almost weird. Like somebody brought it up in there. I was like, it's true.
And see, that's the thing is we can even get more nitty gritty and just be like SpongeBob versus
Drake and Josh.
what's another famous cartoon?
Mickey Mouse.
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb. I mean,
Well,
that would
SpongeBob.
Yeah, but like
The
you know what I mean?
Simpsons.
Yeah, or something like that. I mean, that would
It wouldn't for so much, but they still had equal impact. I
That's
think.
the thing is
Family
like
Guy.
we can go down to like really hard ones like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also want to have that topic one day about our childhood and like what we even remember because it's like freaking Nintendo literally taught me how to jump. It's like
They taught me how to jump.
They did.
Mine's
Mine's
gonna
be.
mine's gonna be so.
I'm
good.
Mario.
Thank you. Thank you. Like it hit brick. Ah!
They see a turtle, you're like,
They taught me how to kill turtles, jump on mushrooms, and save the
See
princess
a
from an evil turtle.
You're just like looking at it, you're like,
Connor as a kid runs outside, grabs the mushroom, he's like,
My mom's like, "Look, I got you a turtle." I'm like, "Cool."
thanks, Mom. You throw the turtle at your dad.
Connor like sticks his
Here comes the blue turtle shell.
Connor grabs the flower and eats it, and he's like trying to throw out fireballs, like, what the heck?
It's not working. Anyway, what would you guys pick for the death match? Disney or Nintendo? We know it's a tough one. In the comments, let us know and why. Give us a reason why you would pick that. But yeah, give us some deathmatch ideas. Ones you'd like to see us debate out in the future.
Prove us wrong if you think we were wrong. If you think we should have got rid of Disney, tell us why. Like, we are all open.
Well, we're not all open. It's opinion.
Oh no, I know. I'm
It's like, yeah, this.
Well, no, I'm saying like
Yeah.
no, you misunderstand. I'm saying like if there's points we missed that were big points that we would be like, oh yeah, like we totally forgot about this repercussion or whatever.
Yeah.
Let us know, guys.
This
'cause,
butterfly
like,
effect.
yeah,
Butterfly
effect.
effect.
It's a big deal. So choose wisely. Let us know, and like you said, let us know deathmatch ideas, guys. Like we only have we're only 3 people. We don't know everything to think about. So.
I mean, we do have plenty of topics.
We do, and there's plenty that we don't.
We will
so.
discuss yours if you have a good one.
Yeah,
so
let us know.
Throw it our way.
Yeah.
If you want to know our favorite colors, blue, purple. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Green.
You freaking idiot.
Well, you knew that. You just threw them off. Blue, green, red.
Blue, green, red.
Red,
don't
blue,
ask for that.
and purple.
There's no discussion.
Yeah. What's your guys' favorite color?
Blue.
That's the end of the topic. There we go. Blue, green, red. Done. Okay. Next up. We can just do rapid fire questions.
Maybe we could do a conversation of why do you think that's our favorite color?
Oh, one topic
mine used to be blue, and Connor liked blue, so I never could get anything blue because I was getting confused, so I switched to red.
I chose green. I chose green because I used to be afraid of green.
Yeah, Tanner used to be afraid of green things.
People.
Like green
so
people.
Grinch, Shrek. Like, ah!
So when the Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life thing came out, you just
Oh yeah, no, dude, I know what it derives from.
Tanner,
it was from my mom with her masks.
Yeah.
Like, getting out of the bathtub or stuff where they use like the masks
the
to
green,
get rid of the
girls
pimples.
do the green mask.
She would come out and scare us. Like
Tanner would literally be scared like whenever Shrek or Skeletor or the Grinch or whoever,
the mask.
whoever had a green face would come on screen. Tanner would be like, ah,
green.
It's such
Tanner's fear. Connor, why do you like blue?
Were you scared of the ocean and then you accepted it? And you like
no,
blue?
I've just always loved blue. I don't know why. Blue's always been my favorite. I think one of the things that it's weird. But
it's
I feel like
the most common favorite.
Well, I feel
color.
like when we grew up, there was a lot of TV shows that had like the colored characters, like Power Rangers.
The colored characters? That's so racist.
You know what I mean? Like
there was those colored characters. No. They're called African American.
Like the Power Rangers or something like that, or the Powerpuff Girls.
The blue one was always the cool.
And it's like I always was drawn to the blue one. I was like, the blue
which is weird because the red one's the leader.
Well, no, it depends.
Powerpuff Girls,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Leonardo.
Powerpuff
I always
Girls?
loved Leonardo, and he's the leader.
Power Rangers. Red.
Well, yeah, I know, yeah. Red traditionally seems to be like the leader one for...
That's true, though. Leonardo. I think it might be because of TMNT.
Oh, you know what another cool topic would be?
Blue.
The type of character you want to play in video games.
Mm.
Like, because you're always like... You're always different.
Like going back
Tanner,
to Apex.
Tanner always changes.
The big
I'm
guy.
always the tank.
Jason is always the juggernaut big guy.
But I feel like I'm like that, too. Because like whenever I
Really?
play Destiny, I'm always the Titan. There's the Titan, which is the big guy. On Anthem, there's the Juggernaut. I'm always
Well,
the
let's
big
put it... I see... This would be fun, too, to do, like, which characters would be... Like, which Ninja Turtle are you?
That's what I was thinking. The
Yeah.
red one. Which one's the red one?
Oh, you're Raphael.
Raphael.
I might be Michelangelo.
See, I'm Leonardo. Like, totally.
Leonardo?
Leonardi.
Nobody's
I'm
Donatello.
totally Leonopis.
I'm Splinter.
Michael Bambolo.
It's like, you guys are stupid. You don't even know your Ninja Turtles.
I'd be April O'Neil.
Another topic I want to do is, like, first date questions. Like, go through a list of first date questions just to answer those questions because they're all such.
Have you ever slept with another guy?
Yes.
My cousin.
All 3 of them.
First question: how many people have you slept with? No one. Okay.
0. Bye.
No one. I have depression. I have crippling depression.
Do my cousins count?
How many people have you slept with? A few cousins. Whoa! All right, we're done.
All right, we're not.
Boys and girls. Boys. Okay, bye.
It's like, well, clearly this we're not compatible because I am a man, you are a woman, so.
She starts the date. She's like, "So where do you come from?" "I love my cousins." Okay. I'm in love with my cousins.
What do you think about abortion?
First question is like, so how are you doing? What's your name? Blah blah. How do you feel about abortion?
So what's your name? Oh, it's nice to meet you. So if we had
That's
a baby,
the
would you
third
abort
time
it?
I mentioned abortion in a single episode. I'm going for a
Wait,
record next.
have you really?
I was going.
Now we gotta talk about Hitler.
All right, we're gonna wrap up that episode. I think that was good, right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Got all of our discussions.
Nothing
out.
more to say.
All right.
Oh man.
Well, perfect. We thank you guys for joining us. Once again, literally just had a topic in a deathmatch. Went for 2.5 hours again.
Next episode's gonna be about abortions. So
Oh, man.
get ready.
It's freaking.
At
so
this point, we
difficult
could just let's break the record. Let's go for the Guinness record.
of what? Oh, the
Longest
longest
podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's 24
So I
hours.
think we were looking it up. I think the
No, it was
longest
like
podcast.
30 something hours or something like that.
We can beat it. We're
40.
2 hours in.
I mean,
We only got 36 hours to go.
We definitely couldn't tonight because we just got done shooting a short film earlier today, and so it's like now we definitely couldn't.
That's why I look so
But-
crazy, not because I'm homeless.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit.
he is homeless too, but
It's because me and Tanner have been wrestling around in the
yeah,
snow.
Tanner and Hasten were literally wrestling around in the snow. If you want to check out that, look forward to. We have a short film. We have short films we do. And we have a series called The Package. We're actually shooting a third one right now.
I mean, go check out the channel at
So-
CTH Films.
Yeah, go
Is it
to.
feature films?
Well, there's a few places. You can find. So if you go on Vimeo and look up Connor Hall, like Sunny Life and stuff, you can go to that page. It has everything. Then there's also feature films on YouTube.
Feature film.
Then there's also
The Instagram
Connor
is-
Hall YouTube, which has everything too.
the
Like-
Instagram is CTH Films.
There's also a YouTube channel I think that's CTH Films, and it has all of them. Like
Oh my gosh.
I've uploaded those short films everywhere, just so they're out there.
Just
but-
look up The Package. Make sure it's not the porno. So. And then
Yeah,
you're good.
yeah. I mean, or unless you want.
Me and
Unless you
Tanner are
want.
working on making that right now.
That'll be
That'll be
out
out
a little sooner.
A little bit sooner than the package because, you know, it only takes a few minutes.
We'll pimp
We
out
filmed
our,
it right before here.
Be sure to follow us on social media and stuff, though. Follow CTH Films on Instagram as well. And we'll pimp out whenever that stuff is on its way and when it's going to be coming out soon.
Yep.
You can probably expect that in the next few weeks, I'd imagine. But we thank you guys for watching. Thanks for sticking around.
Also,
Please
look forward
give us
to-
feedback
Yeah, and
and
look
give us
forward.
topic ideas and whatnot.
You're good. Look forward.
And
Shut up! Look forward to. I'm gonna kill you.
then you're going to go... No.
Look forward to Hasten's stream. Look forward to Hasten's
What is
stream.
it?
Hasten's stream.
Oh, yeah, go to my stream. So it's Assassin 720, but the second S is a 5. That's key, because I also have...
It's just
Assassin
assassin.
No, it's A5 Assassin 720. Okay, get it right. And if you go to Assassin 720,
Get it right.
that's also mine, but I don't stream on it.
If you go to Assassin 720, you're gonna find a girl twerking. Don't go to that one.
Go to my channel. Thank you.
If you go to SS 720, like,
You're gonna find a totally different channel.
It's not me. It's not me, I promise.
it's a girl twerking in 720
It's gonna be
degrees.
Banjo Kooie instead of Kazooie.
20 degrees. Oh, because I was just like...
Twerking at
why-
120
I was like, why
degrees?
720 degrees? That's like a random number.
720 degrees.
Oh, we were so close to ending the episode.
I don't think that's
That's
possible.
a freaking weird, like... Girls twerking in 720 degrees. Just imagine
I'm pretty sure that's boiling.
She's just
She's like,
Oh my god.
just burning alive.
she just jumps in a pot of boiling water and it's like,
Literally, it would be a stream of someone melting alive.
guys, go check out my channel where I twerk in 720 degree water.
Watch someone burn to death and melt. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, we were close to wrapping up. Please follow us on social media.
You know the
Hit us
drill.
up.
Oh
Yeah.
my
It'll be in the
God.
It'll be in the description.
Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing some more episodes soon. Every other Sunday is kind of our
Kill
schedule.
me.
Give us topic ideas. Yeah.
We'll
I think
see you
that's
next time.
See you guys later.
Bye.